All right. Hello, everyone. This is June 29th, 2024. And I did not know why we don't have as many people. Usually we have more than this, and it's already 10 minutes. So I'm trying to see if can you find out, Giselle, if they might be in another line? I don't understand.
I'm going to check, Doc. But it's the same link, Doc. It's always the same, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then I have a new computer, and so I do not know if it got my Zoom right.
This is just the one that you always send us. I
I
took
always
this
set up.
from the email. Yes, Doc.
Okay. That's what I always send too. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess people are just not attending today. All right, we're gonna get started. We cannot wait. Giselle, can you be my co-host that way?
Yes,
Um,
Doc.
yeah, you can help me get
And
people in. Do you know, are you in chat, Giselle? Do you know if can you paste the link to it and remind people, please? I mean, I sent a reminder. I guess you can just post that if you want.
where would I post it, Doc? The link to Zoom?
Yeah,
I I am not already in the group
in the chat.
because of yes, Doc. Doc, I was only with Memphis because of too many people, Doc. So Sir Mike asked us to go out of
Ah,
the Zoom, out to
okay.
the group chat to give others a chance.
Okay. So either Giselle or Mike. Mike, I is this Erwin. I don't see Mike yet.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, hello,
Good
Erwin.
morning.
How are you? Um,
I'm doing fine,
Hello,
Doc.
Doc.
I'm actually outside.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. How are you, John? I do not like my
Doing
background.
great, Doc.
I don't know about the great part because I've been worried about you also. I've been worried about your
Right now, Doc,
mistakes.
I'm actually working on my final defense of my thesis because I'll be graduating with my master's this coming October.
Oh,
So that's
congratulations.
what I'm.
That's
Thank
what
you
you're
very
worried
much,
about
Doc.
now, huh? Okay, well, you have other worries then. That's cool. Um, anyway,
Like numbers before.
there's Elizabeth, Santo Domingo.
Question. Ano daw ang kanyang term of endearment?
Elizabeth, are you in a wedding?
Yes, ma'am. Your answer is. Baby, it's correct.
Did you get married?
Congratulations.
Who got
Now,
married?
question for the next. Okay, the question is, where is the bride and groom's first international flight?
Who
What
is
is
it?
the
Who is
first
talking? Is that
international flight? You have an idea.
Elizabeth? You may want to link, or you might want to mute yourself, please. I mean, mute yourself, please.
I already muted her, Doc.
Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're getting some people now. So Diana, yay, Diana, how are you? Well, on your chat, if you don't mind, I know you already done where you come from, but can you tell me if you have had any interviews at all? I want to see. I know Giselle did, but I know the Memphis 13 did. You don't have to do that, but the others, I want to know, have you had an interview before ever? I'd like to see that because some people are getting multiple, but then some people are not getting money. I know Diana has already done it, right, Diana?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Hey,
Doc.
did your cousin arrive yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. She called me. She's so funny. She called me. Betsy called me and said, "Oh, hi, Doc. We're leaving for the Philippines." And I said, "Hey, I'm in the middle of bingo." So anyway, we just talked for a little bit and
Okay.
yeah. So Lalaine said that she's got unstable internet. So Diana, what's up with you? What's going on in your life? You're not watching the store anymore. You're always like not in the store.
No, I'm here, Doc.
Oh, your background looks good.
Well, because I changed the location of the table.
Oh, it looks nice. See, you were listening, right? You got new
Of
background,
course,
really
oh,
clear, huh? You've been listening, girl.
yeah, I'm always.
Oh, cool. But anyway, you have any question, Diana, before I get the new people? You have any
No,
question
no,
for me?
no. I'm just here listening and observing, gaining some new ideas.
Okay. So Diana, I'm gonna put you in a spot. Have you had what had been something that you have learned that you can share with others from the Zoom? You have attended quite a bit of Zooms. Can you share
Yeah, but
some to others what you've learned?
Doc, I don't know. I forgot that it's today is the. I thought it was last Saturday, and then I'm
Oh,
also thinking, oh my, what happened? Why I was not able to open it up? Maybe I forgot like this. So I just opened the laptop, and then I saw that. Oh, I am not. I was not absent last Saturday because the meeting is today.
yeah. Well, we
That's
skip
why I
every
just
we
opened.
yeah,
I just opened everything, and then I was not able to charge. And
yeah.
then okay, I'm going to share later because
Well,
I'm still
we
having my
always skip
dinner, Doc.
every other
Sorry.
Saturday. So that was our skip Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because sometimes I forgot and then oh, it's like especially this time that we have our national learning camp and I
Uh-huh.
volunteered it. So
Uh-huh.
since I am the coordinator, it seems like a bit busy
Yeah.
preparing for all the materials that we're going to do.
What
That's
does it
why
entail? What do you usually do in that kind of camp?
it's just like summer class.
Oh, okay. Do you get paid for that, or is that something volunteer?
Yeah.
You get paid?
We will have like meal allowance only.
Oh, okay. Oh. If you say meal allowance, what does that mean in the Philippines? Like how much money would that be?
250
Oh,
pesos.
$5. Now that's not gonna work here. If they ask the teachers here even 1 hour, it's like usually the lowest will be $25. Most places would be
Oh,
$40 an hour. Yeah. So Nancy said good morning. And Nancy Aurelio, I have gotten a lot of reference survey from you. Have you had any interviews off of that, Nancy?
Hello, Dr. Merlina.
Hi, Nancy. Have you
Uh,
gotten any interviews?
I'm still waiting for the interview, Doc. Thank you so
Okay.
much for answering the survey. I'm
Every
so
time I turn
thankful.
around, like there is something from Nancy. So I'm like, she better be getting interviews from this.
Yeah, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
you're applying. Oh, you're welcome. But
this.
so I've talked to Alvin, right? And I've talked to which one? Can you tell us on chat if I've not talked to you? That way we'll have you first before we go on to the meat of our meeting. Have I talked to everybody that's here? I know that Memphis 13, a bunch of you are here. And so
oh,
oh,
I'm
Charlotte,
sorry, Doc.
Barcelona. Charlotte, Barcelona, you're new here, right?
Hi, Doc. Good
Hi,
evening.
hi, good evening. Can you turn on your camera?
Hi, Doc.
Hello. Oh, you're outside. Yeah.
Yeah, presently I'm here in the Philippines. I'm having my vacation, Doc.
Okay. Vacation already. When did your vacation start?
We ended our class last May 30, and then I had my summer class in Qatar. And then after which that's
You went
when
on
I have
vacation.
my vacation.
Oh, I am so proud of you that you're from
Thank
Qatar,
you,
huh? So
Doc.
were you working with like the um Myrna and Joel and them or Dr. Pineda?
Yes, Doc, with Sir Mike. We are in the same school with Sir Mike before in
Oh, Sir
Philippine
Mike.
school, Doc.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah. And
Mr.
also
Mike's
Mommy.
people. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
I gotcha. So tell us about like what is the difference like the weather, for example, in Qatar and Philippines, and the Philippines, is there a huge difference or similar?
For the weather, Doc?
Uh-huh.
The what? The weather?
Mm-hmm. When you first get
Yeah,
off
the
the
weather in
airplane.
Qatar. The
Huh?
weather of Qatar is extremely hot. Like it reaches up to 52 degrees
Oh.
Celsius. Yeah. So if you will be standing outside for 10 minutes, then you will feel like your brain is going to shrink.
Um,
It's
you-
very
I-
hot.
well,
But here in the Philippines, it's good, but it's like humid. Yeah, it's not that
humid.
hot, but it's humid. Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's Celsius, 52 Celsius. How much is that in Fahrenheit? So looking at my husband over, my engineer husband over here. What is 52 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, babe? It's pretty hot, he said.
It's
Can
really
somebody
hot.
find out?
Yeah.
Hey, Erwin, you're the math person. Can you give me the conversion or Google it, whatever? What's the conversion from 52 degrees Celsius to
125
Fahrenheit?
It's
Fahrenheit.
125, 125.
Are you serious? 125.
125. Yeah, that's
125
hot.
in
So,
Qatar. Okay.
yes, Doc.
How
When
about
I
in the
left
Philippines?
Qatar, in the Philippines, what's the temperature? 32? That's the
Oh,
hottest?
that's a huge difference then. Okay. And what is 32?
Yeah,
What is 32 in Fahrenheit?
like 89 Fahrenheit, Doc.
That's not bad. Well, it's still bad
Yeah.
because in here, they've been going 90. And so my poor
Oh.
plants have been like, every time I go out, I'm checking on my plants and some of my tomatoes are like really like, oh, water me, please. They're shriveling. So yeah, so that's how I know usually. So what are you doing in the Philippines? Charlotte, because you're vacationing, how long will you be and what you're doing?
Maybe just a month, Doc, and then I'll go back to Qatar because by August first week we will have our INSEE training in our school.
At your school? How many
Yeah.
PD hours are they asking you? How many PD hours are they asking you to, like, what's required? In Arkansas, for example, we have like, it used to be 60 hours, which is like about um um 10 days. Now it's back down to 5 days. That's a requirement for licensure. So 5 days required
In,
training.
yeah, in Qatar, Doc, just a week.
That's a week, yeah.
A week
Similar
of
then,
the
similar.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how it's done here in the US is that the PD, some schools like the bigger schools, they would provide all those 5 days. Like they would have the teachers come 5 days earlier before the kids do, and usually 7 days, 8 days earlier, because they usually give the schools the teachers like 2 days to work in a classroom. 2 days not quite enough, so a lot of teachers have already been working before that, right? And so but the required ones, what they have to have is those 5 days. And some schools, like the big schools, the teachers don't have the key to the school. Well, the smaller schools, like I worked in one small school, we had a key everybody had a key to the building. How does that work in the Philippines? Do you have keys to the school?
In Qatar, Doc, we surrender the keys to the office once the school ends.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because they don't want you coming
yeah.
in the summer, huh?
No, we're not allowed.
Okay.
They want us to spend the summer somewhere else.
Really?
Doc, I have
Wow.
a question, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
I would like to ask about the situation or the educational setup in South Dakota, Doc. If you
South
have any
Dakota.
idea of,
South Dakota
yes,
is one of the coldest places in the United States. It's where that Mount, the
Rushmore.
Dad, what was that Mount South Dakota? What was it that we visited? The four presidents? Mount Rushmore. The Mount Rushmore is there. Remember, you've seen that before, where there are four best presidents in the US, and it's on a rock. We went there before, and it's a really, really, well, because we went in summer, so it was really hot then. But if you go in the winter time, you could be bare, your house or your car could be buried in snow. That's how bad. And
Ooh.
yeah, it's really bad because it's so close to Canada. If you look at the map, the closer you are to Canada, like Maryland, is very, very cold. So New York is really cold. If you look at the United States, those are the northeast part, and those are really cold areas. I'm in the south, and so our winter is kind of mild. We still get snow, but not much. Like we're so happy when we can make our, our snowman, but our snowman. But anyway, but they're pretty much like staying inside the house because it's really, really, really deep. Like some of the houses by their front door might be full of snow, like pretty much buried. So a lot of people would have their, make sure that they clean their front part, as the snow is going, because otherwise they could get buried and they can get out then. So yeah, if you like snow, South Dakota will be a good place to go. Are you getting interviews there?
Yes, Doc, I had last time and I'm just waiting for the result.
Result?
So I just hoping, Doc, I'm just trying to research about the place,
Mm-hmm.
about the what's their standards and then like that. So
Good for you. I'm glad that you're researching. I think it's a good idea. Hi, Charlotte. I don't think you have introduced yourself. Do you mind introducing yourself and include your degree and years of experience and what you've taught, content and grade levels, and maybe your philosophy of teaching, and then maybe why you want to come here.
okay, good evening everyone. I'm Charlotte Barcelona. I graduated in Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education with mathematics as my area of concentration. I also had my master's degree in elementary education as well, and presently I'm on my PhD studies in educational management, major in special education. I have 18 years teaching experience, 7 years in the Philippines, and 11 years in Qatar. I teach students in grade 2 level for their math subject. And aside from teaching, I also have extra curricular activities like I was a dance club moderator. I also have experience coaching for archery since I'm the a national player for archery before. And then I also do um, science investigatory project and uh, editorial cartooning as well. So uh, my philosophy in teaching is I want to I want to I design my teachings for the students to learn to do their best, to show their best so that they will be able to compete in the global and digital world.
Okay?
That's how
Why do you want to come here?
yes.
Why did you
Soon,
want to come
Doc.
to the US?
I want to come to the US because I want to for my professional growth and for also to learn more about their culture and to share the things that I've learned also.
Okay. And I think you would be rich with information about other cultures because you are now there for 11 in Qatar for 11 years. So those learnings should be able to benefit the kids because you'll be able to learn to teach some of those. Kids here, I know this, they are hungry for information about other culture. Like they love it. I would always like share about the Philippines you know, whenever it relates to something we're doing, or just to introduce myself at the beginning of the year. I think that's very important that kids know you. Like you want to know the kids, right? That's very important, the knowledge of students, but you also need to teach them about yourself because the more that they know you, that will build trust, and you want that trust relationship, right? And I think it's the same in Qatar. How do the kids behave there in Qatar?
Based on experience, Doc, the students in Qatar are behaving well
Behave well.
since majority of my students are Filipino, but they are also mixed with other cultures like the Indians, students from the which one? Africa, Sudan, and
Okay.
like yeah, they are mixed with other cultures than the.
Do
But the good
mhm,
thing is that the activities that we have also caters to all kind of diverse culture students. So we are sensitive with their uh, religion, talking about the religion during
mhm,
the
mhm.
practices, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Like
they are
their
sensitive.
prayers,
Yeah.
you would allow that the prayers part. Yeah, I remembered when I was in Saudi Arabia, I was visiting there for 16 days, and we had, a meeting, and we would stop in the middle whenever that sound, goes, and then they would have their little mat and they would pray. And of course, I'm not part of that, so I just like did my thing, but they do that. My members, I had five, team members, and I was the only one that's from America, and I was the only one that did not have my mat and did not have the prayer thing, but I was just being quiet and let them do their thing. So, and I think that's something that you also have to learn, right? So what do teachers have to do when kids would do that? Because the bell, the sound, what do you call that sound when they make that sound for prayers? Is there a term for that?
It's called, yeah, it's called Salah, Doc, Salah.
Salah. Okay, so when Salah
Salah, yeah.
happens,
Uh,
what do you do as a Christian?
they heard the sound of the mosques for the signaling for prayer. Then everybody will pause for a while, and then they will let the music play, because in the mosque they will just like a recorded prayer, and then they will
Mm,
just turn it on, and then everybody will listen, and then it will stop. But that will just that not it's not usually happens inside the classroom, because we cannot hear the bell when it
mm,
rings for the prayer.
mm.
But if we are outside, then we will pause for respect for their prayers, doc, for the Muslim. And also, if we have programs, we have Muslim prayer, and
Mm.
then we have the Christian prayer, or the general prayer for all in English.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's really good that you honor the different religions. I think that's
Mhm.
good. So what happens, like, you also have non-Muslims, right? Or were all your students in Qatar all Muslim students? Or some of them are
No, doc,
Christian?
they are mixed. Some are
Mixed.
Christians, some are Muslims,
Yeah. And
and
so
Catholic.
who was it? I was asking something. Anyway, so I guess their parents are there to work, right? Is that why they're there in Qatar? So,
Yes, their parents are here. That's why they are here also. And the Philippine School Doha is the biggest Filipino school in the Middle East.
oh, really? I did not know that. So it's
Yeah.
huge. Like, what is
But
the student population there?
as of last year, we had 4,000 plus
Okay, that's a big
students.
one. Okay. Um, that would be like here in America, they are ranked by the size. So you would have at least I don't know if it's all over, but I know in Arkansas, they have like 2A school would be like the really small school, like less than 1,000 in some of them. And so then you have your 3A school, and that would be like, maybe up to 2,000 or whatever. And then your 4A school would be more than 3,000. And so like Little Rock is 7A, and that is the capital. And they have so many, they have 123 elementary schools just on the elementary. And they would have, high school and their junior high and middle school. So they have a lot of schools. I don't know if there's more than 200 schools, but anyway, so imagine each school will have at least, 400 or 500. So there's quite a bit of students, and that they are 7A. And so I taught at a 2A school. No, we're 3A now, 2A back then. So, and then, so a small school. And then I went as an administrator, I went to a 4A and a 5A school. So, so the bigger ones here, like if you have applied, for example, in Little Rock, that's 7A. And then um Helena, I think is 4A, 4A. I think Helena's 4A school or 5A. I don't know if somebody knows. Um, but so how do you have any ranking like that in the Philippines? Do you know, guys? Anybody? You don't have any? Well, thanks for that information that they're the biggest one. My niece in the military just went to Qatar, and she really loved it there. Yeah, she really enjoyed it. So that's my sister from Dallas, baby's daughter. Din sister, that Jennifer. So she liked it, and so it made me think like, what, I want to go there someday. So maybe someday.
Uh,
Go ahead.
and Doc, I would just like to ask if you have any idea because the school that I interviewed with last time is they are on like a tribal school or the reservation or that I'm
Yes,
not familiar with it. So,
most of them are Native Americans, and the Native Americans, the history of the U.S., they were they were it would be like in the Philippines where remember we had Magellan come, right? And here the whites came, but the original people, the original folks were the Native Americans. And they are, they're all now spread all over, but they were in South Dakota and the Dakotas, they're still there. There's a lot, but the problem with that is that it's very rare to find a J1 visa sponsor that would do reservation because they think that it's too small. They're not big enough. And they want most of these J1 sponsors, they want to deal with bigger schools because they want to grow. They have they will get more instead of like just one or two. They actually will get more. So that's the tricky part. But you need to, so as if you're really interested in working in those, you need to do your homework, like look at the visa designated sponsors, and maybe Giselle or somebody could post it there on chat. Go look at that list and then find a designated visa sponsor that would sponsor you. So if you can already be like with Greenheart is a very big one, a good one, and Global Educational Concept GEC is one, and I think there is um Cultural Vistas, CV. I am a partner of Cultural Vistas. We just finished our partnership. I mean, I just did my application, so I now work with Caroline from Cultural Vistas, Glenn at Minga House, I think mingahouse.org. That is he is a third party sponsor, but it's he's connected to about eight, I think 8 or 10 J1 sponsors, so he could help. And I usually say do not deal with third party agency, but Glenn is okay because he thinks like me, like teachers should not be paying, and if they do pay, maybe he has a finder's fee, but not much. Some people out there are charging you $5,000-6,000 just for their finder's fee, like just for being there in the middle to introduce you to the J1 sponsor. So you just have to watch for those. And I think Glenn may be 500 or $1,000, but they don't charge you for that. They charge, the his partner agencies would be the one to give him that. And that's why I like dealing with Glenn and recommending him because he believes that, I think teachers work hard enough that you should not be the one to pay for the fees. It should be the school. I mean, they really encourage the school to be the one to do it. But sadly, some of the schools cannot afford to do it. But that's why sometimes, or a lot of times, the Filipino teachers will end up, paying for it. But at least you'll get the money paid by 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. You should be able to pay what you owed because yeah, there you go. Giselle had put it in. There's a J1 visa link, guys. If you're new here,
Shoot,
you need to
pagkalabay
make
kayong kumag...
sure that you have
Ito
you
niya.
you
Amo
use
ba?
that link. Stop.
Nagdugo na ito imo kuan.
Lalaine, Lalaine, will you please mute? Thank you. Maybe Giselle can do that. But anyway, so that's what I have. And it was nice visiting with you, Charlotte. You did a very good job on your introduction. It's very relaxed, and that's what it should be. You should just be visiting with me and talking with me. Should not be something that that like you're scared to death or whatever. You should look confident, and I think you did. And the only thing that I would recommend you doing is that you need to greet the person that's interviewing you. Like I'm the only one here, and Giselle is my co-host, so you can just say, "I, Dr. McCullough, and Miss Giselle, good morning or good afternoon or whatever, And so greet us, and then introduce yourself. Okay, you can thank folks to for having you because of their busy schedule, and they give time to you, so you might want to thank them that. And at the end, they will ask you, do you have any question for me? And always prepare a question. You do not say no. You have to ask a question. So a lot of times it's about a PD, like what kind of support will you provide new Filipino teachers, or they call it international teachers here. So what do you provide for international teachers? Do you have like a go-to person, a person that's partnering up with the teacher in order for that teacher to have a guide? You have somebody that would actually help you. A lot of times it's they call it team leader, the team leader or the grade level leader. A lot of times they're the ones that are assigned so that they can guide you. And so that's what happens. But yeah, you did a good job. You included all the pieces that I said. But that's what it should be. It's just we're just visiting with each other. And then the difference would have been I'd be asking you questions. How do you deal with angry parents? How do you deal with adults that are or colleagues that are difficult, hard to get along with? What do you do? Unmotivated children that do not want to do work, or how about bullies, kids that want to bully others? How do you handle that? You know, Diana, do you remember any questions that you have that you remembered from any of your other interviews? I'm putting Diana on the spot, or my cousin Fran who's here.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Hello,
So,
Doc.
hey, do you remember a question that kind of was hard for you or was easy for you, whatever you want to share?
Um, what I have observed, Doc, is it's the same of what you want us to do every time that we have a Zoom meeting. Like
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's almost the same.
Yeah, similar. They always ask you to introduce yourself. That's why your introduction needs to be a smooth, like,
And
right?
the philosophy of teaching and how
Uh-huh.
are you going to deal with the students. It's generally classroom management.
Yeah, they are so concerned about that because they'll be wondering, how do you handle American children when they are so different than the Filipino children? And you will see the difference. I think what I would say is that because I have been to so many different schools in the US in my role as a lead evaluator for accreditation. So I have visited so many schools. And what I noticed is that the public school here or the private school here, like the Catholic schools, for example, that I visited, will be similar to how the Filipino kids behave in the classroom. So if you go to a private school in the US, they'll be similar to the Philippines. But the public school here is quite different. You see a lot of Diana's over there walking around. Anyway, so you see a lot of maybe classroom management issues that you have to deal with. Okay. So that way a question that you need to be ready for, like for example with Charlotte, she could say something about, with my 11 years of experience in Qatar, I feel like that should have prepared me to handle diverse kids. Or you could say things like, I always teach, my philosophy of teaching is always about using hands-on strategies and interactive strategies in my classroom, and I always differentiate. So I will, address all the needs of my kids, individual needs of my kids, so you should be able to handle that, because if you're going to do the same in America, differentiation is a must. So that's how you should answer it. You should use specific example from your own context, from your own example, not just a generic thing. Okay. Maverick, I see Maverick over here. Maverick, it's been a long time since I've seen you. So Charlotte, thanks
Doc
again,
Marlene.
Charlotte. Okay, do you
Right.
have the number? Do you have the folks numbered already,
Hello,
Giselle,
ma'am.
and who's gonna talk? That's new. I see some
Um,
new ones like Flora
Doc,
Ramos, new. Uh-huh.
Doc Marlena. Hello po. Before
Yeah.
before I leave,
Uh-huh.
I would like to take this opportunity, Doc Marlena, to thank you for all the tips that you have shared with me. I've been in the Zoom. I attended your Zoom meeting for a couple of times already, and I learned a lot. And before I had my interview last time in South Dakota, I reviewed the notes that you shared with me in the email, and it really helps a lot, Doc. I really had a good feedback from the
Really?
superintendent and the principal that had interviewed me. It really helps a lot. The five
Core
corporal.
propositions. Yay. Five core
Yes, I use
propositions.
the
Yeah.
knowledge of students, the knowledge, your knowledge of student, knowledge of content, collaboration, reflection, and assessment.
Yep,
So
you got it. So you
I
mentioned
use them
those.
all. Yes, I really studied them all. I prepared for the interview. I reviewed all the things that you've shared, Doc, and it really helps a lot. One thing that they're really impressed about me, the thing that you said, Doc, you sell out yourself, your the skills that you have, especially you let them feel that you love the students, you care more about the student. You always say that to us, that it's not about the teacher, it's about the students.
That's
So
right. Good
I
job.
did
Good
all
thinking. Good
those.
learning. Yeah.
I
Charlotte,
did
good
all
job.
those though,
Yeah.
and I put it in my heart that I need to have all these things in mind so that they will like that they will
Good.
like me. And
I'm glad that you use the five core propositions. Did you use any of
yes,
the interview the materials that I sent? Like I had a PowerPoint there, and I had like Josephine videos, all that. Did you watch those? It's in YouTube, guys.
yes,
If you have
I
not
watched
been,
it in YouTube.
did you?
I learned a lot from that interview also, and I would like to share this to everyone to review also those things, because for me it really helps a lot. Just now, Doc, I just received the job offer from that school that I have interviewed with.
Congratulations, girls. Good job.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Dr. Elena. I really owe it from you for
Well,
all the
you're
things that you
welcome.
shared with us.
Email
Um,
Glenn at mingahouse.org or minga.org. I think maybe it's mingahouse or minga.org. Anyway, Glenn with an one N. And then ask
uh,
Glenn, mention my name and say, Glenn, do you have anybody? Do you have any partner? He said the last time he did 40 or 80, I don't remember. J1 spot still. But yeah,
the
find out.
the good thing, or the good thing about it, Doc, is each they offered me an H1 visa.
Yeah, good job, girl. Okay. Yeah, the thing with H1 right now is they have if they do not have an exception, which is like, for example, if they have a partnership with another school, a college, for example, a university partner, if they can show that partnership, an MOU or memo of understanding, an MOU with with a university, then they could be exempted from that quota. There's a quota of 65,000 H1B every year, and that's been met for this year. So the new ones would come out again in October 1. So you cannot apply for H1B until October 1 is the start. It will open again. And so you process your papers. If you have the partnership, then you can apply anytime. Like, a bunch of the schools I deal with, I always ask about the partnership with their MOU, and then you can apply anytime. And if they pay for that 2,800 premium fee, and that will make it fast. Like in 10 days, you'll know the result. But it will cost 2,800. Otherwise, it will take a few months, because they have to do their what was it that got us stuck in LCA. Your labor condition agreement, LCA, is the first step they're going to do. Feel free, Charlotte, to share my information with them. And then I don't mind helping them if they have never done any international teacher visa before. So have them to contact me and tell them that I don't charge for that. I will send them some information, like some step by step thing, and some link to the forms and so on. So feel free to share my information to folks that need help with the J1, okay? And they always
Yes,
ask,
Doc.
like,
Thank you very
yeah,
much. Thank you,
yeah. Well,
Doc.
good luck. Congratulations, girl.
Thank
Yay.
you,
So
Doc.
you'll be in a cold place, but that's at
I
least you're
hope
in
to see you
America.
soon, Doc. I
Huh?
hope it's just a near ride from South Dakota to Arkansas, and I can visit you and Sir Mike and the rest of
Yeah,
the.
you can fly. That's the thing here in America is you can fly anywhere. And Southwest Airlines is the cheapest. Well, not the cheapest, but it's usually one of the best airlines to fly within the US. And there's like Allegiant Air and some of the cheapest. Yeah, like Allegiant Air from me to Las Vegas only like $250, which in other places it will be 600, 500. So they're cheap and it's direct flight. So Allegiant Air we use a lot. And especially if you're one of those that would not pack a lot, like you just have your carry-on and your purse, then it won't cost you any extra. Because a lot of these cheapest airline is they would charge you extra for your luggage, they'll charge you extra for the seat that's better and all that. And don't go for that. Just you'll arrive there at the same time. So just take the seat that's open, that's not an extra money, and then just do your carry on and your purse. That's allowed. That's free. But if you're gonna do extra, like cover, some folks cannot travel light. They have to have I know of some people that would travel with extras because they would have a suitcase full of shoes or suitcase full of shoes and purses, things like that. You don't need that. So yeah, in the US, that's the thing. Right now, in fact, most of our teachers that are here are traveling. There's a few in the Philippines. I think I know of at least 6 that are going to the Philippines or have gone. And then the others like Mike traveled to New York and other places. And I know that Leslie, I don't know if Leslie's here now, Leslie and Jing, I think, are going to Orlando. They're going to Disney World. And so anyway, but hopefully they said they're gonna come here to my house on Wednesday. They're gonna help me for my we have our 37th wedding anniversary party um on next Saturday. So hopefully they said they will help me decorate for that. It's always a red, white, and blue theme because it's closer to July 4th. We got married on July 7th. So every year I have a red, white, and blue party. So anyway, so when you get here, you're welcome to attend it. Hopefully we get a bunch of people already back by then. I know a bunch of the Hell Enough bunch are still traveling. I don't think they can make to the party. So the nice thing is we have a lot of Filipino communities here, like nearby. And when somebody has a party, especially if you have lechon, they'll come. They'll drive far away. Like I have friends all the way to Missouri, which is 45 minutes only. They would come here. Like they have a van full of people that would come, and it seemed like we just see each other every year on parties. But and like there's a party today. I'm supposed to come this afternoon after our Zoom. So I will see a bunch of the Filipinos nearby. They have a birthday party, 80th birthday party for somebody. And they called me and I said, well, that's a week before mine. They said, well, you need to come so you can invite others. So yeah, so that's what I was gonna do after this. So you'll see it on my post. If you are not a member of our ITSA group yet on Facebook, you need to find us. ITSA, International Teacher Support of America, ITSA, ITSA. And you can Google my name, maybe. You can find it there too. I have 2 different ones, that ITSA and then the teachers, international teachers supporting each other is my actual, that's more of a business account. And then of course I have my Merlina McCullough, which is my personal account. And there's even one for Ellen, which is my nickname, Ellen Tamara. That was used to be our company, the cable company. We don't have it now. So I just changed it to Ellen, and that's got really little number. But the international teachers supporting each other, I have more than 5,000, close to 6,000, like 5.7K. So 5,700 plus or 600 plus right now. So be a member of that. That would be nice to have you there. It's has more than 3,000. My YouTube now is more than 300. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So if you know of people that are interested in those videos and want to subscribe or whatever, that would be nice. And I know a bunch of you did not subscribe yet because I have this many members and then I don't have a lot subscribed. So I hope you do. Okay. So Charlotte, are we done? So I think the
Yes, Doc.
first,
Thank you so much,
thank you.
Doc.
Thank you so much. You did awesome. No wonder you got a job. Congratulations again. So hopefully,
The
yeah, hopefully you will continue to attend and tell us some of your learning, because I think I would love to hear, because that setting about the Native Americans will be so different as well. They would look like Filipino children, by the way. They are, yeah, they're brown and they would look like us, except there's a difference with the nose, I think, because they're more like looking like the Mexican nose. And but they are so wonderful. I have some Native American friends and they're so just a deep soul, even the kids are like so deep. So yeah. So I hope that you do get to come with that H1B. Congratulations. Do you know the difference between H1B and J1? What's the difference between J1 and H1B?
H1B as a road to green card.
Yes, that's a path. Yeah, there's a path to green card. And what happens is that the max for that is 6 years, right? Instead of 5 years with the J1. And path to green card after, don't do any, I think, yeah, after, don't do anything within 90 days. Like, don't be doing any paperwork extra to do, green card or anything until after 90 days, okay? Um, then if you get your sponsor to sponsor your green card, and then they will, if that's approved, then you get your green card and you are here. I think it's been for 10 years. And then before the 10 years, you should be, it's called a resident alien card, is the green card. It would say resident alien. I don't know if it still does now. I know mine did. And my husband used to joke like, yeah, I'm married to an alien and she's got papers to prove it. But anyway, so the green card then would last for 10 years. That's very you'll be able to extend it as many times as you want. But I would recommend that if you already have a green card, you need to apply for citizenship after you've been here in America for 5 years. Continuous years. So for example, if you're here and then you went to vacation in the Philippines, that doesn't, you can continue to count unless you stayed for 6 months or more. If you stayed for 6 months or more, then you have to count again, start over. It's like my friend BB right now, she said she's going to the Philippines, and I said, and staying there. And I'm like, well, B, if you're, she's been here 2 years. And I said, well, B, if you're gonna be doing that for more than 6 months, then if you later decide to come back, because she's got her green card, and if you decide to come back, then you'll have to start over and you count if you stayed for more than 6 months. So what some people would do, they would actually go visit like Marshall Islands or somewhere that's a that's a U.S. territory, Marshall Islands or somebody, close to the Philippines. And then they would, so they would get stamped there that they went into the U.S. and then they come back. You see, some people would do that just to not get the 6 months or more. But I don't think you worry about that because you're teaching. You're not going to have 6 months break, right? Yeah. So do you want to become a U.S. citizen?
Hopefully, Doc, if God permits.
Yeah. Yeah, the nice thing about being a U.S. Citizen is you can vote, of course. That's one of the best benefits. And also you can bring somebody here. Of course, your husband will be the fastest. And then after that, your parents will be the fastest. So get your parents here. And when your parents are here, they are the ones that need to sponsor for your siblings, for your sisters, brothers, because you as a sister, and you would want your sister to come. Like if I want my brothers to come, I have two brothers in the Philippines, it will take more than 30 years. I'll be dead by then. So anyway, so it will take more than 30 years for them to come. But if my mom, my mom had already sponsored my little brother Armin to come since 2012. This has been 12 years and they're still not approved. So even as a parent, yes, a U.S. citizen parent, because my brother is married over 21, and that is a lower priority. But if you are a parent and you are sponsoring somebody that's below 21 and unmarried, that's easy. And that's why some of those Filipino, yeah, some of those, yeah. So if you have a kid and you want to bring them over, make sure that you bring them before they turn 21. What happens after 21 is that they cannot ride on your application anymore. They have to have their own application because they're adult, considered, of legal age. And so they're not, it's really 18, but for immigration purposes, 21. So they call them, you have age out. So aged out means that you are 21 or more. and you have to redo them. And I think for my nieces, like I have 6 nieces and nephews for that family, my brother Armin, I think half of them are already aged out. And my question is the age going to be based on their application time, which everybody could have done, or is it based on their present time? Like when now, if they get approved this year, will that be based on their 2024 age, or was that on 2012 age? So that's a question I need to ask my brother-in-law who works for immigration. So that would be interesting to know what that is. Okay. So do you have any kids, Charlotte, that you're gonna be bringing, or husband?
Yes, Doc. I'll be bringing my husband with me, and then my son will follow after.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I think what they say, if you get a visa, you have up to 6 months to use that visa. So you for example, your son or daughter would already have their visa. You have 6 months to bring them here. You don't have to do it immediately. A lot of times people have to save money, in order to bring them here, because they want you. Most of the schools do not pay for your family. You have to pay for it. Maybe you'll find some schools that are desperate for teachers that they will offer to pay because they have extra money, but that's very, very few. So, but I would ask, what it doesn't cost you to ask, like, hey, am I pushing my luck here? But can you also pay for my family? And some people with budget, they may be able to say yes. So if you don't ask, they never would offer that maybe. But so you need to just ask, am I pushing my luck if I ask you if my family could be paid too? You know, a lot of time the answer would be said, no, sorry, we don't have the budget. But with reservation, I don't know how, I know the money, a lot of the reservation, the Native American schools, they actually have lots of money, because especially if they're close to a casino, because that's funding their schools. And so I know of a friend of mine, and in Arkansas, we have one in the north was closer to Oklahoma, because a lot of the schools, the Native Americans are living like on Oklahoma border, which is only about 3 hours from me. And I have a friend that lives there in the border, and he said they have to have a card if they're at least so many percent Native Americans. And so he happens to have a card, even though he was only 25% or something Native American. So, but he's got this card, and he was getting, like, for his kids plus his wife and him, he was getting like $5,000 a month. That's on top of what he was making. He was making more than 5,000 a month for our work. So, he was making more than 10,000 from the casino, money. He would always joke like, hey, you guys, you need to come visit the casino because, they're paying me. And because he had 3 kids, and I think 3 of them were handicapped. So they were getting more money for that to help. In America, if you have a handicapped child, like a special ed child, a lot of times the government will pay you $500 a month, in order to help with the child. So you have to apply for those. And a lot of times you cannot apply unless you're a US citizen. So good conversation here, Charlotte. Good job.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for your time, Doc.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
Augie. Augie was the first one on today. So Augie, can you talk to us, Augie, and please turn on your camera?
Okay, that's OG Doc.
Oh, Augie. Oh, gosh, you told me that. Yeah, Augie. Yes. Nice name.
Mhm.
Okay. Same information, professional information.
Um, Good day, Dr. Merlina. Good day, Ms. Giselle, and good day to all. By the way, I am OGM Campo, 47 years old from the Philippines. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and a Master's in Education, major in Instructional Technology, and Doctor in Philosophy, major in Technology Management. I've been teaching for almost 25 years in elementary, high school, and college. At present, I am a senior high school teacher in one of the public schools here in the Philippines, teaching business education and computer education. I am proficient in teaching subjects in accountancy, business, and management, technology education, and research. I am also a trainer and assessor in one of the technical vocational training competencies here in our country. At the same time, I'm also a subject group head wherein I manage to craft modules and learning activity sheets and mentors my co-teachers in preparing classroom instructional materials. As a national trainer, I also train teachers in the use of technology for instruction. My teaching philosophy is actually passion for learning and passion for teaching. I believe the teacher must instill the love for teaching so that the learners will also love learning. So when we love our craft, when we love teaching, we always give it all in the things that we prepare for our lesson. We can be a passionate teacher. We can be a patient. We can be considerate to our learners. We can be a responsible person and all other things. With that, student for sure can be able to see or can be able to feel and observe us. So the way they tend to do their activities, they will be able to get it in the love, in the passion of their teacher. So they can be patient, they can be considerate to their classmates as well. So aside from being a passionate teacher, I am also a lifelong learner with, of course, a vast of experience. But most importantly, I'm just a somebody who would like to touch and give impact to the lives of many. So I can't wait to embark in this journey, of course, to share my knowledge, my expertise in my field for business education and technology education, as well as I would like to also learn the vibrant community, educational community in the US. Thank you.
Very good. 3-star, man. Good job. You were very fluent. Awesome. And congratulations on all your accomplishment, getting your, did you say you have your doctorate or are you working on it? You
Yes,
already
I
received
had
it.
it.
You already have it. So I'm
Yes,
surprised that you're
yes,
not
I did.
teaching college right now. You're still teaching high school, which is good because in order to come
Actually,
here
we
in
have a
J1,
part-time semester.
yeah,
Yes.
you're K-12. You have to be a K-12 teacher, not a college teacher. Is a totally different thing. Because if you were a university professor, a lot of times you have to apply on a college, and college will always use H1B. They do not use J1 at all because J1 is a program for K-12. So that's a good thing that you stayed. And the requirement is you have to have taught at least 2 years. You have to, on the level, in the area that you're doing. And 25 years, that's a lot of experience for you. You might not want to tell them about your age because that's a personal
I'm
question.
47.
Yeah, do
Oh,
not tell them
okay.
that because
Yes,
some
okay.
people would have age bias. You do not want to
Oh,
get those that have age bias. A lot of time they don't even know what age we are. So so
okay.
anyway, but do
Okay,
not give
okay,
them that
okay.
tool to like say, "No,
Yes,
let's not
yes,
do
yes.
that because she's, in your case though, the bias might not apply because their bias is usually stemming from if they're older, they may not be up to date on technology, but that is your field. So that should not apply to you, but I would still not suggest using your age. I would not. That
Okay.
is something they're not supposed to ask anyway. But I know a lot of people
Okay.
would offer. I had an email from someone saying, am I gonna be over the age to apply? And I said, how old are you? She said 40. And I'm like, oh my God, you're just that 40 is not old at all. It's like, yeah, our life just started then. I'm 57. But they do not use that at all. Um, they can guess at it, I guess, 25 years. And if you graduated when you were 20, you're in your, mid 40s. They could actually do the math right there, right? Um, they would overestimate that because in the US, of course, you have the extra 2 years, and then so a lot of times our students when they graduate high school are already 18 years old. Like in the Philippines, especially during my time, before the 11th and 12th, the extra, I mean, 7th and 8th one, extra years. They were, oh, I mean, I graduated at 16 years old. So, yeah. So, um, and then I moved here when I was 19. So I already had 2 years and a half of college when I came here. And then I did my education here, all 4 degrees. But anyway, yeah. I think you would not have any problem with your fluency. They're going to be looking for your fluency in English, which, looks like you just a native speaker. You're very good at it. Awesome. And then
Thank
your technology knowledge. You have to be in your introduction, you may want to say something about, all of you, not just you, but about your knowledge in the Google suites, all the Google products and all the Microsoft products, your Office suites, the Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and so on, and your Google Sheets, Google Form and so on. I would mention those because that they're also looking for your knowledge of technology, because here in America they'll be using Google Classroom. So if you don't know about Google Classroom, you may want to go to YouTube and go Google Classroom 101, and it will tell you exactly how to do it, and it's free. So you may want to play with it, especially that you're a national trainer. You could use Google Classroom. When I do training, I actually would use Google Classroom for a specific training. And then all I have to do is give them the code, and then they go in there and they had all my materials, all my PowerPoint, all my, my handouts are all in my Google Classroom. So I have several Google Classroom things from my different training that I've done, which is good because I could always go back to what did I do? When I did a training at this school, what did I do? And I go back to the Google Classroom. Oh yeah, we did this and so on. Because of course, different people would have different questions and different things, but I could always go back to the Google Classroom that I made. So that's something that you need to know, you guys, everybody. And I'm sure do you already know it, Audrey?
Yes, I'm using the classroom in
You're
my
using it. Good
class.
job.
Actually,
Good.
this summer I am handling. Actually this summer I'm handling online classes. I've been using it for almost, I think, 4 years already.
Good job. You need
The
to say
Google
that
Classroom.
on your introduction. You need to include your knowledge of technology and what kinds of technology you're already using. Of course, most classrooms would have a smartboard, here. And of course, that's the training. Every school has a technology director. And the bigger the school, the more that they will have. They would have a technology director and they would have 2 or 3 guys under, like, one per building. If they have, like, in schools where I was an administrator, there were 6 buildings. So, but we only had three technology workers. So being a business educator and it's computer technology person, a lot of time your teachers will ask you to help them because sometimes these guys will not respond to the teachers pretty quickly. Like, they always took care of us administrators first. My sister would say, your computer was bad yesterday and it's already fixed that same afternoon. My computer's been bad since last week. She would always compare, because she's a teacher and I was administrator. And she said that they really are biased administrators. And I said, well, I guess they know that it's going to affect us. It's going to affect not just one person. We have a whole building. Like in my case, I had a whole district. So I had 6 schools that I had to deal with. And if my computer was bad, I have to, it's hard for me to communicate with the 6 buildings. So yeah. So technology is another one. And you have to be currently teaching. Okay. So if you're not currently teaching, you need to be at least currently teaching for you to be able to get the J1 sponsor to sponsor you. That's one of the first questions they're going to ask you. Are you currently teaching? Okay. You have any question for me, Audrey?
With regards to my area of specialization, so as I do research, it's more on in the CTE field. So, and I think the area of my specialization have a little opening, or is there any or more openings for
There's a lot.
the
If you go
business
to
and technology?
if you go to www.schoolspring.com, just one no s schoolspring.com, there's a lot. I noticed. It might be under computer. You can filter it using the word computer or using the word business. Okay, and some of them would call it CBA. CBA is something. B is business. I don't remember what CBA meant, but anyway, that's a shortcut. They would always say, "Do you teach CBA here?" So anyway, so that's what you do is look under computer, search under computer or information, maybe is one of them, and also business. So business education. Okay. But with your doctorate degree, you can actually apply for yourself. You can self-apply. And if you email me, I will send you the link on what you need to use. You can actually apply yourself. So anyway, that way you be ready, you're ready to go. If you have job offer, you're ready to go. So you can actually start the process already. Okay. But that's for folks that have doctorate degrees. So congratulations again. You have worked so hard, girl. Years of experience.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
All right. Yeah. Nice to meet you again. Okay. So who's number two? Actually, she's number three.
It's
But anyways,
Florami Ramos, Doc.
okay.
And
Go ahead.
for those who wanted to introduce themselves, please comment down so that you will be listed. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Giselle. Good job. Okay. Go ahead. Be the next one. It says Flora Me
Hello,
Ramos.
Doc.
Hi, Flora
Yes,
Me.
Doc. Good evening.
Good
For
evening.
including me here in the group. I am Florami Manel Gudmalin Ramos, 43 years old. I am currently teaching grade 3 elementary pupils here in Cagayan de Oro City. And I have been a teacher for 18 years, including my experiences in the private school. And I obtained my master's degree in Xavier University last 2018. And I am very interested to listen to this group because I am eager to apply for a teaching position there in US. And I'm happy that you include me in this group.
Okay. Who
My
told you
teaching
about this group?
philosophy,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I used to see it in a Filipino American group, Doc. Ma'am Ophelia Dumaog.
Okay. She told you. Okay, good. Okay. Teaching
Doc.
philosophy is what? What's your teaching
Um,
philosophy?
my my teaching philosophy is that I am born to teach the tabula rasa minds of the children.
Okay.
Mm.
You need to start the word I believe
Uh,
that. I believe in the importance of. So I believe in the importance of, using hands-on activities in order to, and as some of them said this, in order to help my kids become competitive in the digital world, things like that. So you want to say that because that's your philosophy. This is what you believe. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so next,
yes, thank you.
yeah. You want to say the word US, you have to always put the, just like Philippines. You say the US, the Philippines. Okay? But you did good. You were just talking to me. Very natural. And what did you not hear what I said to Audrey about the age? What did I say? You must have missed it. I told OG not to include
Yes.
the age. Okay. And you told me you're 43 years old.
Okay.
A good knowledge for us to know, but do not do that because of age bias. That could happen. They're like,
Uh,
oh, that teacher might not know much about technology, might not be up to date about technology because, you are this old or you have been it's been a long time since you've been in school or whatever. But having your master's degree, and you said your master's degree, you got it in 2018, which should have helped you being up to date, right? Because that's only 6 years ago. So you should have been up to date with technology, maybe. So are you using like Google Classroom or Google products or Microsoft products? Are you proficient on that?
yes, Doc, we are in our classroom nowadays, Doc. Just this year, especially during the COVID times, we use the Google Meet classroom, Doc,
Okay,
for
Google Meet.
our kids.
Yeah, you need to say Google Meet.
Mm.
Yeah, mention that in your introduction and say about what you want to learn in the US and what can you teach. So a lot of time when you're a J1 program, it's actually a cultural exchange, okay? You are learning about the American culture and American kids, then you're also teaching them about the Philippine culture. That's why they call it cultural exchange. You are teaching and learning at the same time. Okay. So in fact, most of the J1 sponsors would request that you do something to show that you're doing your teaching of the culture like once a month. You have to proven that you've done something. Some of them would do a fiesta thing, and some of them would do like when you come here, you may want to start bringing like the Philippine flag, just the smaller ones, the Philippine flag and anything Filipino related, like Maria Clara outfit, and some other things that represent Filipino. They have their little, those little tray thing that we use to tahop, that those little basket, woven things. Those are good Filipino deals. And even the fan from the Philippines, it's so hot here that I use my fan that I got from the Philippines here. I use it. I mean, I take it with me everywhere, especially going to the beach. I mean, to the, lake here, the beach here. And we are landlocked in Arkansas, so there's no beach around. We have to drive about maybe 15 hours or 12 hours in order to go to the closest beach. So it's pretty far. So it's not like the Philippines where we just drive a few minutes, and especially that I live in Lapu-Lapu, I just ride a tricycle and I'm at the beach. In fact, I go to the top part of my house, I could see the beach. And so anyway, so yeah, it's we're very close, but not here. I miss the beach so much because it has been since before COVID that I went. Our daughter, my husband's daughter, my stepdaughter, my bonus daughter, Libby, she owned a beach house in Florida, and she already sold it before I even got to visit it. And so anyway, so yeah, so the beaches here, when you go on a trip here, you have to like get a condo or a hotel. You can go in hotels that are, right there on the beach. There's in Texas there I have a favorite hotel, Holiday Inn, where they would actually be like when you open they have the pool, right? And when you open that pool, outside is the beach. And then they have this little a cabana thing, and there's the little hut there that you can buy food and all this right there on the beach. So I like that part. When we go there, I always just tell my husband, we need to go buy my favorite Holiday Inn there. But of course, these things are expensive. They're normally 2 or 3 times more than your normal hotel because of the facilities that they have. But to me, the cheapest way to go do it is through using a cruise. Like I love to go on a cruise, Carnival cruise or Norwegian. Those are my two favorite companies. And you go on a cruise and you go to the Bahamas. And of course, that's the beach is so wide, and it's very much like the Philippines because it's so clear. It's so clear that and the fish there when you do your snorkeling or whatever are so colorful like the one in the Philippines. So anyway, you have any question for me, Laura May?
Um, okay, if I asked, um, is my age, can, I mean, I'm having a confusion if my age can be accepted there in
Yeah.
the US.
It's illegal to ask about your age. So they would not even know your age because it's illegal to ask about it. Because in
Hello,
America, we don't discriminate based on age,
the
based
line is
on gender,
broken.
based on nationality. We
Hello,
could
Doc.
not discriminate, or that's illegal. So that's not going to be a concern. Okay. That's why you do not need to mention your name, your age. You can mention your name, but don't mention your age when you introduce yourself. Okay. They can deduce that based on your experience, but you don't have to give them that. Okay. And they're not supposed to even ask you that. Some people would say about their number of kids. Sometimes that could be a plus because each kid is worth about $10,000 to the school. They will, for every kid that you enroll there. But that could also be seen negatively, you know. So I don't know. I would not mention that either. I remembered one of the jobs that I applied. I lost it to someone with 6 kids because the school was
So
like,
sorry,
well, with the
the
6 kids, they can pay
broken.
for her, huh? What is it?
So sorry. Come again, Doc. So sorry, the line's
Annette, that's okay.
broken.
Well, I would not worry about mentioning like later on when they hire you, they may ask you that, like who are you bringing and so on. That's something down the road. But during your introduction, I will just say everything professional. and you did that, your degree, your number of years experience, what you're teaching, your philosophy, and maybe why you want to come to the US. So those are the basic things you're going to be talking about, because the introduction would be between 1 to 2 minutes, sometimes 2 to 3, but very short. They just want to know a little bit about you. Okay, sometimes they would say, "Hey, introduce yourself." They introduce themselves first, and then they ask you, or they would say things like, "Oh, tell us about your professional journey." So you're really wanting to know, why did you choose teaching? Of all the professions, why did you teach it? And my answer would be, well, I remember that even as little as elementary, I was already pretending to teach my cousins and my neighbors. And so I was always pretending to be the teacher. I was always have my little thing, you pretending that I was my lesson plan book and so on. And I was always a youth, leader and so on. I've always liked helping kids. So I knew that, although when I went to college, I took law. Law was my first choice, because you know how it is in the Philippines. If you have a high in CEE, right? I was 99 or 98, I don't remember. Anyway, really high. So I could go medical or law. So I chose law because I cannot do blood. So anyway, but really my love was teaching. And so when I came to the US, I switched from law to teaching, which is not bad because I already had 2 years of my basics, done. So I had a lot of my basics already accepted. The one that they did not accept was, they argued with me about the English, because, the title in the Philippines, the English is not matching to their title description of the courses here. And they were not going to take any of my English classes. I had 6 classes. I had 18 hours or 18 units of English. I was not going to let them do that, because I was only asked to do 2, so 6 hours of English. So I was able to argue with them to take 1, because the word research was the only one that wasn't there in the description. And so I called, so, I was in USJR, San Jose Recoletos, and so I called, and it just so happened that the head of the English department there happened to be my high school principal from the Catholic school that I went to in St. Joseph's in Mandaue. So I told her that, I said, "Hey, do you have any description of your courses, and does it have the word research on it?" "Oh, yeah, we do." And I'm like, "Okay, will you please send it to me?" And that's why they sent it to me, and I went all the way to the dean. And I actually told them, I said, "Hey, this is my transcript, and here's the description from the, USJR and the letterhead, showing that it does have the word research on it." They accepted it. That was brave of me, but that saved me 1 class. That saved me money. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can do that here in America. You can, as long as you bring your paperwork and evidence, you could actually reason out like that. And I was able to do that. I was proud of myself, because I was only like um 20 years old. I was only 20 years old at that time, and this is in America, new. And I was, I had to speak English, right? Nosebleed. But anyhow, and to talk to somebody from the head of the department. So that was like a big deal to me, because I'm like, oh no, what are they going to ask me? But I was able to, I guess, show that I was confident about it, that I do know what I'm talking about. And maybe when they hear you and how fluent you are, they're going to know, okay, she's okay. She can actually do this. But yeah, that could happen here. I don't know Philippines if you can do that, but I know in America they will be very reasonable like that. That's an example of it. Lots of freedom. Okay. All right. So what kind of other question do you have?
Just another. Doc, is it true that driver's license is necessary there in the US?
It is necessary, but it's not required for you to come. Like J1 visa, actually you have some J1. Let me take that back. Some of the J1 sponsors are actually asking you to have it, just especially if you're applying in places like in Arkansas, where we have to drive, because there's no taxi, there's no jeepney, there's no tricycle. It's only private vehicles. So they want you to drive. But I always encourage the folks here to first get your social security number, because that is the key to everything. That will get you your bank account, because they have to have the social security. And then when you apply, you study the book, apply to drive, you have to first pass the written test. You cannot do it without your social security. So when you go down there to the DMV or Department of Motor Vehicles, you're going to bring all your paperwork with you, your immigration paperwork stuff, plus your social security number in order for you to even apply. So that's what we need to do. The moment you arrive in America, the first day or the second day, apply for your social security number. It's going to take 5 to 7 days, sometimes longer. So you want that because that's the key to everything. You can't get paid without it because the people at the school, they are the financial folks. They have to have your social security number in order for you to be issued a check or the direct deposit. That's when you have to have an account because most of them are doing direct deposit to your account and you cannot open it without your social security. So that is the key to everything. Some schools are not very strict and they would actually do a temporary social security number. Like, some of you are asking me when you apply here in the US, they would ask you for the social security number, which is a 9-digit number. So I've said either use your TIN number or you can use 0, like 000, then dash 00 dash, and then 4 more zeros. Or you can use nines, those. But there's a group of 3 numbers, a dash, 2 numbers, a dash, and then 4 numbers. So there's nine digits in social security number here. But of course, that's temporary. Whenever you get your actual one, you have to inform them saying, hey, this is my actual, number. That was my temporary number that I gave you earlier. So yeah, because it's gonna bounce back when they try to send you, and that is something that that the IRS, your Internal Revenue Service here would say, this person, we don't have this person in our system. So they know that you have the wrong social security number. It's gonna bounce it back. It's not gonna let you be paid. Okay. All right. So so you're excited. What have
Thank
you
you.
done? Like, have you gotten your passport? Your FCE, your foreign credential evaluation from
Yes,
Spantran? You have your passport, good.
I haven't had yet but I already have my papers
Okay,
ready for FCE, Doc.
good. Get your transcript and all that for
Yes, Doc.
FCE.
Can you
Can I do what?
recommend an cheaper FCE where we can afford affordable we have affordable FCE, Doc,
It's all the same, about 200 some dollars, which is about
or
10,000
cheaper?
pesos. Nope, that's about the rate of it. Any company that you deal with is going to be about 10,000 pesos. So about spantran.com, can you do this, Giselle? www.spantran.com. So you just do that. I don't know how long it takes. It's pretty fast. Giselle, do you remember how long it took you to get your FCE done?
It's 10 days, Doc. 10 working
Okay.
days.
It's gonna take you 10 days. So you just have to come up with the money. If you have a credit card, use your credit card, And so that one is FCE is the key for you, your passport. And once you have that, then I actually would recommend you also to apply for your teaching license in the US, and the 3 states that are easy to apply from is from Illinois. Try to do that here, Illinois, or Maryland, or New Mexico. Those are the 3 places that you could you need to search it on Google, put Illinois Department of Education, put it in quotation. And then when you get there, you look for licensure. There's always a search button. Look for the word licensure, and then it will tell you exactly how to do your licensure. As a first time, as an international teacher, it will tell you the requirements. And these 3 places are actually able to process it online, where you don't have to come here to get it. But you have to have your FCE to do it. So you cannot do the application of your teaching license unless you have your FCE done. In Arkansas, it's unique because they won't let you do that because you have to personally be here before they would issue you that. And then in order to be issued a provisional license, which is the very kind of temporary one, is you need to pass your TOEFL. TOEFL, Teachers of English as a Foreign Language. TOEFL, that is, for your fluency, English proficiency. So, because it's going to teach you on reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So TOEFL is another one that, if you're going to do it in Arkansas, there's only a few, not all of the states would actually ask you to pass TOEFL. So that's why it's important that you go to their Department of Education, whatever state you want. For example, if you want, like Charlotte mentioned, South Dakota. So she would put South Dakota Department of Education in quotation mark. That way you do not just see the Dakota, you don't just see education, you see the whole thing. So South Dakota Department of Education, and then she would look at the licensure requirement. And then, so a bunch of them, you just do it online. Of course, you're going to have, if there's some fees, I want to say $100 maybe in some places, but I think one of them only $10. So it's not too bad that you have to have a credit card in order for you to put it online. Diana, do you have your teacher's license already from one of these states? Did you do that?
Doc, I don't have it yet.
Yeah, you need to apply, Diana, because you did a very good job on your interview, and I could see that you'll be easily hired. So you have got to have your
Yeah,
license.
actually, Doc, this is keep on telling me to have this TOEFL.
TOEFL. Yeah.
TOEFL.
Who tells you the TOEFL? The people that interviewed you asking about
No,
TOEFL?
it's not. Betsy.
Betsy.
It's Betsy only who's telling me
Yeah.
that if I were you, if it's better since you are still there, better to
Yeah.
get the certificate. And actually, that's the one thing also that I'm starting to process with.
Yeah. But I would say that license would be first instead of TOEFL, just because TOEFL is not required at every state. It's required in Arkansas. So if you're really determined to teach in Arkansas, yes, it is required in Arkansas. But in some other states, they don't require it. These 3 states, they don't require them. So you just have to send your FCE and, sometime your transcript and FCE, and then your resume and cover letter, and then they would go from that. Okay. So I don't know what other extra, I'm sure something about money and maybe background check or whatever, it's also online. So yeah, do that already. And then that way, if you apply at other states where they do not need TOEFL, you already have your license. Okay. From the
Okay,
US.
Doc.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Because what happens is that some states, especially some schools in some states that have never hired any international teachers, they do not know that there is a reciprocity between the US and the Philippines license, which means that they will honor the Philippine license, but it has to be translated to their license. Okay, so that's why if you want to teach in Texas and you already have a license from one of these 3 states, they're going to say, okay, that it will be easily, you can have reciprocity from that other state to Texas, for example. I'm not, that's just an example, but some of them are pretty strict. Like some people that work in my, I used to work at Department of Education, right? And so some of them are very strict about, like, they have to have taught in those states. They're not just have a license, but they have to have taught that. But a lot of them would actually honor it. But it's worth the investment to me. I know the license thing, could be less than $100 to get it. TOEFL is more than $200, so more than 10,000 pesos. It's kind of like the FCE for TOEFL. So it is an investment for you, but it's not going to expire. So once you pass it, you have it. So I think the licensure might expire. It might be 5 to 10 years. You have to renew, but the TOEFL, once you pass it, you passed it. The cutoff score for TOEFL is 76 in Arkansas. So in other states, it's going to be different, but out of 120. So it's not bad. 76 out of 120. So just a little bit less, over half. But it's very hard, especially on reading and the writing, just because you're being timed and it's very long. I think four stories maybe. And you have to answer that and you have to read it and then answer that. So that's why your cousin had problems with it, is because they, the time constraint, and then also she could not type very fast. So yeah. So can you type faster than her? Hi, baby. Bye, baby.
Uh,
Love you.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. Excuse me. Thank you. I love you, babe. Our son Jet is leaving. Yeah. Jet found a job. So Jet will start his new job as a computer engineer July 1. And he's leaving us. So, well, anyway, yeah, I'll miss him a lot, but he's only 3 hours away. It's not too bad. But anyhow, okay, back to Flora May. So am I done? Do you feel comfortable after talking? Because usually that does help. That it's not the first time that you're actually introducing yourself. And what I would recommend you do is
Thank you very
actually
much.
type your script and memorize it. Not script, but just your do your little cheat sheet, like one word or keyword, and then start saying it in front of the mirror or saying it in front of your family. And you can have that cheat sheet, with the big words there and can tape it right there below your camera. And in that way, you're looking at the camera, not down, you're looking at it, but you really have a cheat sheet right in front of you. You can do that. But don't write sentences, just write keywords. And that way it still be so natural that you're actually talking to me, naturally. Okay. Instead of trying to memorize it. So, okay.
Doc,
Next.
very much. Learned a lot from you.
Yeah,
Thank you
Doc.
very much.
you're welcome. I learned
Doc.
from you guys too. Okay, who's next, Giselle?
Doc, Ma'am Nancy Aurelio would like to ask questions.
Nancy, go ahead,
Go
Nancy.
na, ma'am.
There's your
Hello,
cute
Doc
baby.
Martina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead,
Thank
Nancy.
you, Giselle. Doc, I tried to apply at Rogers
Uh-huh.
School
Uh-huh.
in Arkansas. Yeah. And there are two job openings or a vacancy for English.
Uh-huh.
And are you familiar with the Oakdale Middle School and Heritage High School? So what can you advise to
That's
me
the
as
that's
a
3 hours away. Most of their population there is Laotian, Asian looking, from Laos. How do you say that? Laos? Anyway,
teacher?
Laotian folks, very a lot in that area. That's Northwest Arkansas, which is close to Oklahoma. That's only like maybe
Mhm.
10 minutes to Oklahoma. So a lot of yeah. So a lot of minorities there, a lot of diversity in the language. So if you have your ESL certification, you need to mention it because that is gonna
Mhm.
help there because a
Mhm.
lot of you guys had taught ESL. By the way, you should always mention that in your introduction because that's gonna help. That's gonna help,
Mhm.
especially for those population like in Rogers, like in Springdale, northwest part of
Mhm.
Arkansas. They will be happy that you have that because of their diverse population. In the ethnic diversity. So anyway, other things that you want to learn, you need to make sure that you remember the 5 core propositions that mentioned here, knowledge of
Ah.
content, knowledge of students, assessment, and then your reflection and collaboration. So your 5 things, use those 5 things as a little checklist in your head. Like when you answer a question, think about, okay, which piece do I need to use? I need to always use what I know about kids. I need to use about what I know about strategies or the knowledge of content stuff. And then of course your assessment. What do you know? What data do you know? And then of course you're going to reflect, and then which people you need to collaborate, parents or special ed teachers, other teachers surrounding you. So those are the 5 pieces that you should include in your answer. Once you have that, your answer will be nice and complete, detailed. Okay, and that would work in any school that you apply, Nancy. Okay, so any
Yes,
other,
Doc. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
any other
Um,
question about, I hope you do end up there because
I
I
am
need some
hoping
people
to.
there. That's where my son is moving to. His job is in Rogers. Jet just
Wow.
left. Yeah.
Good to
So
hear.
we're planning to be there a lot. So if you end up here, I'll see you
I'm
because
hoping, Doc. I'm
yeah,
praying.
yeah, that would be awesome. Because I used to know their superintendent, but he retired. Because there is, for those that have business degree, who was it earlier? They had a opening on computer science person. So you need to also check that out. It's nice to have at least two of you in one school. That way you won't be alone, you know. But the nice thing about there is that that is actually a bigger city. So that actually has a
Oh,
lot of businesses. Like it's not like Salem where, there's nothing here. We have like a Sonic and a Dairy Queen. That's it.
yes, Doc.
There they have everything. They have shopping centers. They have a lot of eating places. You're not going to see Jollibee, but you see a lot of McDonald's, Kentucky, Burger King, whatever, all those.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so Denny's. Um, but that's a nice place there. I really like going there. That's close to the university. The University of Arkansas here is the biggest, and that's there in close, but 15 minutes away, maybe 30, but it's right there in the area. So you have lots to see. And you can go to Oklahoma. We go to Oklahoma to go to the casino there. Every time we go, because we get
Wow.
free room. Yeah, we get free
I
room
really
there.
want to
So
go there, Doc.
yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, there's two Filipinos that have contacted me that they are there. The superintendent actually contacted me, and I felt bad because that one day that we had a field trip, I had a van full of Filipino teachers, but then we ran out of time. We have to go to the museum, and they were about to close, and that was about the only time they had. And I felt bad because they were already ready to go, and then we had to cancel on them. And I felt
Mhm.
so bad because we didn't even get to see them. We were able to FaceTime, but we didn't get to see them in person. And I hope
Oh,
that they're not mad at me. But one of these days, the next time I go in the area, I would love to meet them because the superintendent found them a place close to the school. And that is one thing that you could also ask. What kind of accommodation is close to the school? Do you have
yes,
apartments,
Doc.
houses, for rent? That because you're not going to know you're not going to have your car yet, you're not going to be able to drive yet, so you need to be
Yes, Doc.
able to, like, maybe if there's a teacher that could give me a ride, I will pay for the gas,
Yeah.
somebody that could help you. But because that's a you cannot afford to have taxi every day, but you can help pay somebody. A good amount would be like maybe $20 a week or something, and you would pay them, and you could help with their gas, because you don't want to just have a free one. You should always offer to pay here,
Mhm.
because you're earning dollars but you're spending dollars, and you're not gonna assume that it's free. You should always offer. If
Yes,
it's not costing them money, you should always offer. Some of them might say, no, 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 I'm going anywhere. I don't ever charge myself, but some people might think otherwise, so you always offer. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc. Thank you
Uh-huh.
so much, Doc. One
Yeah.
last question. Is it not too late to apply at this moment
You can
since we
apply
are already
everywhere. You can apply everywhere because some schools would actually, yeah, there's still a lot of J1 visas available now. Again, the new ones. And then you have to have find a school that would be willing to have you come later, because now the first interview available in Manila is now in August, which means that you
Yes,
cannot
Doc.
leave until after the interview. So it will be, cutting it close. So your next
Yes.
available one may be in September. So you may be a month late. Some schools do not want to do that, but a lot of schools that are desperate, they'll go ahead and hire a long-term sub. They call that, a substitute thing that they would hire until you get there. The only disadvantage of that is that you're not there on the first week of school. So when you first come in, you're gonna have to reestablish your rules and routines and all that, because the other teachers not gonna have that yet, especially your subs. They're not gonna be as strong as you would. So you're gonna have to retrain these kids. Okay. But the schools need to understand that, if it's this late and they waited this late, is you're gonna come later. You know, some of them would be okay with that, and some of them will not be okay with it. So, yeah, good questions there, Nancy. Okay. All right. Who is it next?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Giselle, who is next?
Doc, nobody
Nobody.
wanted
Okay,
to
everybody was already there.
introduce. Yes, nobody.
Okay, let's open it to people that are here. Any question? I know, like, the Memphis 13, if you have questions that the others might learn from. Um, I know I have not heard back from Paulette, and I hate to call her on a Saturday because, a bunch of them, they work all week and they really did not want to do any work on Saturday. If you see principals that are working on Saturday, that emailing you on Saturday, that's always a good sign. Some principals would say, okay, I'm done with school until Monday. Like leave me a message and then I'll take care of it Monday. Because some of them will not even look at it until Monday. As administrator, I was always looking at my email because I was obsessed about cleaning my inbox out. I still am, like get it out of there, make sure I, respond to all my emails. That's why if you have not received any response from me, that means that your email went to my spam folder and I may not have noticed it. So if you do not hear back the same week, that means that I didn't get it because I usually, within 2 or 3 days, sometimes same day, I would answer it. Sometimes my inbox is so full, so I don't get there, especially if it's a busy time. Like next Saturday, I won't be able to answer much because I have a party here, lots of people here. So anyway, okay. See, there's Liwaiwai. Liwaiwai to be hired in the middle school if my experience is in high school and 1 year only? No. The answer is no. J1 visa is very strict about alignment between your experience and your credential. And I know in the Philippines, even though you're elementary and you can teach high school, in America, it's very hard to get approval for that. You need to have at least 2 years so if you're middle school, you need to have at least 2 years in middle school. And so high school, same way, elementary, same way. So even if you have those experience on the other grade levels, they will only be really looking at the experience on the, they want to look at all the experiences, but they're going to focus on, do you have the 2 years for that, for those, the credential, for that matches your credentials. If you're high school math and you have only taught elementary, they're not going to hire you for high school math because there's not an alignment, and your visa sponsor is going to deny you. They're not going to let you in because they're just going to be denied in the U.S. Embassy. So they're going to go ahead and deny you. So what I recommend is that you need to apply on the field on whatever your degree is. So if you're high school, you need to be in high school. If you're math, you need to be high school math. You cannot be doing high school science when your certification is high school math. I know a lot of times they actually do both. A lot of time they would have you teach both, but for your J1 visa purposes, they really need an alignment. They need to align those. Okay. Okay. So good question there. Audrey, you said high school po. What were you asking? I guess I missed that part. I was trying to look at your chat here. But anyway, anything else?
Doc, Ma'am Liwayway has a question. She
Okay,
said,
go
if I
ahead.
have master ed, will I be hired in high school too?
You have a master's in special ed, and your original area is what? Ms. Liwayway, do you mind talking to me and putting your camera on? You don't mind?
Yes, ma'am. Wait, ma'am.
Uh-huh. You have not introduced yourself, have you, before? I don't remember your name.
Yes.
You have. Oh yeah, you have. Okay. Yep. I remembered your
Yes,
role.
ma'am. Good evening.
Okay. All right. So what your
Yeah,
question is? Your question is what?
good evening.
Good evening. Good morning here. Yeah.
I have a master. Yes, ma'am. If I took masteral units, will I be hard in high school too?
Your masters have to be in high
I'm
school.
going to SPED class.
If you're going to SPED class, then you're gonna be hired in
SPED.
SPED if you have 2 years in SPED. You don't have 2 years in SPED.
Oh.
So yeah, because especially in Arkansas,
about-
the new law is you have to be fully certified in SPED. You cannot just be taking your master. You have to be finished with it, completed it. You cannot just be going. It has to be completed. Okay. And that brings me a new thing too, that J1 sponsors, most of them, not all of them, but most of them would require you to have your master's degree completed. And if you don't have it completed, that you have to have it completed within a year. So that's something that's really important that you need to know that. So if you only have your bachelor's degree, you might want to think about getting your master's, because there's very few J1 sponsors that would let you come without your master's. So I know that that costs you money, but that's what most
Ma'am,
of them do. Yes.
yes, ma'am. What if I have completed it? Is there a big chance this regardless of my bachelor's degree?
Some of them, because
My
we had,
bachelor's degree is
yeah, good question, because a lot of schools here are desperate for special ed. So if you have it completed, some of them would go ahead and hire you. You know why? Because the special ed law in the US very different in the Philippines anyway. So everybody had to start over. Because even though you may have 10 years of experience there, you still have to start over because the paperwork is different. The laws are different. So some of them would just go, some state, I'm saying, would just go with that, with your degree. But especially that they cannot find any special ed teachers. Right now, they're desperate. Like I had sent my special ed list of folks that had sent me their, resume or cover letter. If you have not done that, you need to make sure you send it to me, McCulloughMerlina@gmail.com. That's my last name, first name at Gmail. Because I send the list to my administrator friends or administrator folks that would email me. I would send them the list, and the list would have the link to your folders. Each one of you will have a folder, and then they click on the link, and they will see everything that you sent me. And so and then I separated them into all the, all the special ed, all the elementary, all the high school math. So I send it that way. That way they don't have to like search. I have 387 right now is my number. And so they don't have to look at 300 number. They just look at that field. They're looking for math. They just click on that math link, and it will link to all the math teachers. But my special ed key, the last administrator that emailed me said, Merlina, your list, most of them have been hired already. And that's another thing, guys. If you have been hired, please let me know. Please email me that I have been hired. That way I can take you off my list, because that wastes their time that you're still on my list, but you've been hired already. I can move you to a different file, or my hired file. Okay, so that way I won't be sending your names out there and you already have a job here. That would waste people's time. It disappoints them that, oh my gosh, I like this teacher, but teacher's already here because you have been hired. So be sure you tell me, okay? I know you're excited and you want to come already and all that, but some of them will be 2 years later. Oh, by the way, I'm already here. And I'm like, well, thanks for telling me. So showing up in Zoom, maybe continuing that would get me updated. Like, okay, so-and-so is already here. And I love to hear your experiences, and share what you've experienced, because right now you're in the other side, you're in, in your Zoom, but then you come back here and you're here, especially if you come fly to Arkansas and visit us, you'll actually be here sitting next to me, which, some of them have come to my house and then they would sit next to me and talk to you. So I know Abby had done that, and Maria and Leslie. So some of them that Okay, good questions there, Miss Liwai. Any other question? How many
Elsa Salceda,
months?
Doc.
How many months do you have before you finish it completely, your special ed?
I'm going to finish it by July, ma'am.
Hang on.
July next year, 2025.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was trying to tell my husband to lower the music. So 2025. Yeah, that should be okay then. So that's still gonna be depending on the school, on the administrator. Most of them would actually want to see your diploma in it, your certificate in it. Okay. So, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and apply in case somebody would actually hire you. You never know. I think to me, we make plans and God laughs, because if it's really planning for you to get to that school, they're going to make it happen. He's going to make it happen for you. And if it's not meant for you, if the door is closed, he might open the window. So yeah, don't be ever discouraged. I know with the Memphis 13, I felt like we have been in so many roller coasters with them that it's giving me a stress. It's stressing me out because I worry about them. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys, okay? Memphis 13, whenever we're done with this one here. It should be pretty soon because I'm going to take questions.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
yeah, thank you, Ms. Liwaiwai. Thanks for attending. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
feel free to email me if
Thank
you have
you.
additional questions, okay? Feel free because I will answer it. McCulloughMerlina@gmail.com. Um, Giselle, do you mind posting the job postings of the 50 states that I've done, please? And everyone, please copy and paste it to a different to a new Word document or Google Doc because this has the link to all the 50 states. I researched the top 10 or more biggest schools in every state, and it's there. All you have to do is click on the link and you can go to those openings. Right now, there's so many openings still on the bigger schools, like on the capital. So if you would search the capital of that state, like for example, you say capital of Arkansas, and it would tell you Little Rock. Well, Little Rock would have still a lot of openings still, because I know for a fact that even last year before that, they already were teaching in the middle of the year and they still had like 50 openings. So there's a lot of openings because a lot of times they could not get enough applicants. So you can Google the capital of every state and see and see if they still have openings. In all probability, they still do. So yeah. So look at that or get that link, and because I put a lot of hours to put that list together with 50 states. Okay. So just email me for it if you want, or you can get it, the link here on the chat. Okay. Any other questions? This is going to be a short one today because we don't have as many. I think it's vacation time. People are not going to think about Zoom when it's vacation. In fact, my husband said, you still have to Zoom when the people are on vacation. And I'm like, well, if people are really serious about coming here, they're going to want their Zoom, because you will get your update on things. So, of course, if we're going to, I hate to stop in the summer because that's when people are actually hiring. And so I hate to like not have I even thought about maybe we'll just do once a month. But then I get a lot of new folks in. And that means that I don't get to see them for another month or a month and a half. So we'll go ahead and keep the twice a month, which is every other Saturday. So it's gonna be the same link every time. Okay. And so anybody else?
Ma'am Elsa,
Elsa.
who's this?
Okay, Elsa.
You have a question? Elsa Salceda.
Yes,
Ma'am.
okay, go
I
ahead, Elsa.
posted it there, ma'am.
Yeah, what did you put?
At presently po, ma'am, I am an alternative learning system teacher for almost 9 years. But before that, I was teaching in the formal school and able to teach different grade levels. My question is, do I need to tell during interview that or in my resume that I am an alternative learning system at present?
Yes, because that's very hard to find
Am I
them.
heard, ma'am?
Yes, because it is so hard to find
Am I
alternative
heard,
teachers. Don't call it
sorry, ma'am.
normal school, say regular school. Formal school, you could call it regular school. Okay, so it's very hard to find alternative teachers. So you need to make sure that you tell them that. And in Arkansas, if you apply in bigger cities and bigger school like Little Rock or Pine Bluff, Pine Bluff is one of them that you might be able to get a job there as an alternative teacher because they're going to have a big one. So you need to look for big cities to apply for those. And then, well, I think some smaller school may, but yeah, I would definitely mention that, in fact, on your cover letter. Okay. It's a good idea to mention. Okay. Elsa, did you ever introduce yourself formally to us? Have you done that before?
Not yet, ma'am.
Do you want to do
Am
it
I heard,
today?
ma'am?
Huh?
Yeah.
You want to do
Okay.
it today?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
sure.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Go for it.
my name is Elsa. Am I heard, ma'am?
Uh-huh.
My name is Elsa Salceda. I am from Alang-Alang, Leyte, Philippines, and I am teaching for more than 24 years. And I am am a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education with a specialization in music, arts, physical education, and health. And I have also a 36 units in Master of Arts in Education with that's it, ma'am.
Okay. What is your philosophy of teaching and why do you want to come here?
And my philosophy is when it comes to talents and strengths. So often I see some teachers giving up on their students because they know that every student has their unique talents.
Okay. So you can say things like, I believe in the importance of utilizing the talents or intelligences of my kids. You know, you can say that is, I believe in the importance of using the talents that the kids bring in and using them and
Okay.
to address their needs. Yeah. You can use the word MI or multiple
Okay.
intelligences. Yeah. I think that would maybe sound more official. Yeah. Using the students' multiple intelligences or MI in order to address their needs. So, for example, if I have a musically intelligent kids, then I may ask them to create a song or a rap or whatever that relates to our topic. So, okay. How about why do you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
come
I
here?
do
Yeah, why do you want to come here?
that. Yes, ma'am.
Why do you want to come to the US?
Come again, ma'am.
Why do you want to come here and teach?
To change.
To change what?
And that is also my big dream, ma'am, to teach in the US. Yeah, to change the lifestyle pins.
Okay. Well, that should be your secondary
And
reason.
I want also some experiences on how to
Good.
teach in the US.
Okay. So yeah, gain experiences. Use the word cultural. You want to learn about the cultural, expectation or just the culture of the US and maybe to compare it. And also you learn from the kids and you teach the kids about the Philippine culture. Remember, it's a cultural exchange. So you have to mention the word culture. Okay, the culture that I gain, the learning that I gain from the American culture, while at the same time, I'm also teaching the students about the Filipino culture. Okay, because it is an exchange of information. Okay, so you need to make sure you say that, and then you can say, of course, it's also going to help me, improve my lifestyle or whatever. Because in the U.S., it's the pay is about 8 to 10 times more. So, like here, it's 3 million pesos is what you're going to get for 9 months of work. So you are a multimillionaire when you get here already in your first year. That's why even if you borrow money, you can get it back within at least 4 to 6 months. You'll be able to pay it all and still save money every month. You can still send money to the Philippines and still have a lot left. So so it is a change of it's a greener pasture, yes, but use that as a second reason. The first reason should be the cultural learning. Okay. Yeah. And instead of using the word units, make sure you use the word hours. You have 36 hours, not 36 units. They will not know units because we use the word hours here. Okay. So a course may have 3 hours instead of 3 units.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you have a nice background there. Love your curtain. Did you hear me? I like your cortina there in the back. So anyway,
Yes, ma'am. Thank
yeah.
so
What do you have a question
much.
for me?
I
Yeah,
bought that in Lazada.
it's nice. It's nice. I love it. Anyway, so do you have a question for me? Because in your interview, you're gonna be asked, do you have a question for us or for me? What will your question be? What question will you ask the administrator when they interview you?
I'm not yet ready, ma'am. Since I have an experience in alternative, there is a vacant position in the secondary. Can I apply also in their school, in
Yeah.
their in that level of students?
Yeah, usually a lot of those alternative teachers is K-12 because you're gonna cover all the grades, or a lot of them are high school. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can say that. Is there a possibility of getting a position in alternative school, since I have experience in that? Yeah, you can ask that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a possibility of an opening in alternative education? Because the answer of that is always
Okay.
yes. Okay, because a lot of schools will always need that because nobody wants that job. Okay, because you will get the
Mm.
worst kids. So
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yes,
have to,
ma'am.
yeah, you know that. You're gonna have to be firm,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to be strict and so on. So it takes that, which really gonna help you, because if you can handle alternative education, you can handle the regular kids. So that's why it's important for you to mention that, because that is an impressive experience. Okay. So I would
Yeah.
always mention
Yes,
that
sir.
if I were
Thank you.
you. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Also, ma'am, in my resume, do I need
Uh-huh.
to, because my internet before was gone, do I need to write this on in my resume about the my experience in ALS,
Yes, you
in
should put all your
ALS?
experiences in your resume. So in your resume, you should put I cover. I mean, you put your name, of course, and you're gonna have a picture on top right or top left. It don't matter. And then you'll put your address. Make sure you have your contact information, your email, and your phone. And then some people will put their address in, but then you have to put the things that you told me, your degree, and then your experiences. And guys, do not do it like I
Okay.
see a lot of resume where it's 10 pages long. Don't do that. 1 or 2 pages should be the limit is 2, because you don't have to
Yeah.
write like experience from this year to this year and then they put 10 things that they're doing that. No, don't do that, because you can just put like from this year to this year, from 2018 to present, I'm a fourth grade teacher, right? And then on this one, the next
Yes.
one, I was
Yes.
this. But always put the present experience first.
Okay.
Start with now,
Okay.
and then start going back. Yeah,
Okay.
always start with now. And then
Okay.
of course you put your awards, if you have any awards,
Yeah.
extracurricular activities that you might be involved in, if you're, if you're a music, if you're a dancer, if you're, a sponsor for,
Uh,
whatever, put it there. And then if any awards that,
chairmanship.
yeah,
Uh,
means to
yes, ma'am.
you. And then for some people, they also list like a million PDs or professional development. No, do 2 or 3 that really impacted you. So what are the 2 or 3 training that really impacted you and changed the way you teach? So pick those instead of listing me a million of them. They don't care about that. They wanted to know the
And
things that really you're using.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Another thing, ma'am, that has a fear on my part of being a music teacher or mape is that I don't have any experience or I don't have any knowledge in playing an instrument, the instruments. I am only good in voice, teaching the voice, the vocal. So I have a fear if they will tell me that I need to teach the instruments also because that is music.
Yeah, yeah. Then that's
So
a question you need to ask. He said, I do not do instrument. I will only use, I will teach the vocal.
yeah,
You can do that. That way they know if you're going to be a good fit
okay,
for them or not. But because some teachers, that's what they do. And some teachers
yeah,
here, they call that a band. They have a band here in high school. And most band
mm-mm.
here would actually have a band teacher. And that's who plays the instrument. They have to have instrument. And then they start at 5th or 6th grade. They will get them ready for the high school. So they will go ahead and have a beginning band, they call that here. And so just make sure you tell them that I only do vocal or whatever.
Yes,
I will
ma'am.
teach
Okay,
music, yeah. But I will not be doing instrument. Yeah.
okay, that's
Just
very
mention
clear
that.
for me to now, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
thank
good.
you so much, Doc.
You're welcome. Yeah, good luck, by the way. Don't be afraid. Don't, just be
Thank you so
relaxed and
much.
yeah, don't be afraid at all.
Um, this is my
Yeah.
first time, mom. This is my first time.
Yeah. Who told you about us? How
Yeah.
did you know about us?
We have a group chat here, ma'am, all from Leyte. We call that
Okay.
Waray Waray.
Mm.
And I have a friend. We have a friend here in the GC that shared the link in
Okay.
this webinar. And
Okay.
we're very thankful for her, ma'am. And luckily, and we are congratulating her because she has already her visa.
Yay, good job. What's her name?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Carlene.
She's not one of
She is
mine.
Carlene.
She did not send
No,
her
ma'am, I
resume.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't. Yeah, but tell
Yeah.
her thank you for me for sharing it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
She shared to us.
Go visit our Giselle, if you don't mind to also put the link to our our Facebook page. It's under you can search it. International Teacher Support of America, or in America, it's ITSA, ITSA. And then if you also search that plus my name, you can find me on YouTube. So I have the YouTube channel and Facebook. Okay. And under
Okay.
also have the international teachers supporting each other. That's also my public, that's my public thing for the business. So of course I had my private one, and people would ask me for both. I just accept it. If I look that it's a Filipina, I usually accept it. But if some
Wow.
man out there, that you don't even have any mutual friends with, I do not accept it. But if it's Filipino, yeah, I always accept it. So anyway, all right. So that's it. That's all your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am,
Welcome. You're
for your
welcome. Is there
insight,
any other
ma'am. Thank you so
question before we move
much.
on? Because
God
I will,
bless, ma'am. God bless.
yeah, God bless
So
you too,
far, none,
Ryan.
ma'am. So far.
Thank you. Oh, there's Mike. Mike, I was missing you. You there? Mike, tell us about New York. I have Giselle help me. Hi, Mike.
Hello po, Doc.
Share with them
Good
about
morning,
New
good
York.
evening.
This would motivate them. Tell them about
New
New
York
York.
po, yeah, that is my second time already po. The first time I visited New York was when
Arrive here.
no po, when my family, Amabel and my two kids,
Arrived.
arrived po.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but their entry port is in Pennsylvania po. So it's like an hour away.
Okay. Did you go to Amish country
No,
where there's a bunch of Amish?
where po?
In Pennsylvania, there's a lot of Amish there.
Um, I did not explore po the Pennsylvania that time.
Okay. Okay.
Yes po. And then, yes po, we traveled together with our cats and dog.
That's a lot of,
Yeah.
that's a lot. How many dogs and how many cats?
One po.
Okay.
One dog and one cat. Yeah po.
Hi, Mike, will you
It's
ask the
ordinary
local
po.
folks there that I have 5 cats, right? And I want to give them all away. So I
Opo.
have 2
What?
babies, 2 kittens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just hide it po kasi baka makita ng dalawang bata and then they will
When
they
you
will
come
get
to my
another one.
party next week, I want to give this away because I really do not have the time, and I hate to give Dwayne a job when I leave, when I do my consulting. I feel bad that I have to leave him a job now that Jet is now moved out and go to his own apartment in Rogers, near Rogers. So Mike, you all can come again.
Yes po, yes po.
Yeah.
We'll see you on next week. I think next Saturday.
Yeah, so you can use the guest house again. I told everyone that
Mm-hmm,
we
mm-hmm,
cannot use it what Jet is using at his place. And now he has moved
mm-hmm.
all his stuff out. So yeah, and I think Leslie's gonna come here with maybe Jing, or I don't know, April, and they're gonna help me decorate on Wednesday. So we're gonna
Yes
decorate.
po. They
Yeah.
mentioned nga po last night po that they will be visiting you po there on trip because they will cannot go to their that yeah they cannot go on 6th because
Yeah,
they will be traveling to Florida.
Florida. Yeah. And and,
Yeah.
and thanks in advance for your lechon, for picking up the lechon. I'll send you the money this week.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
next week. Yeah, before that happens.
Yes
Cash
po.
app. Yeah. Okay, so
Yes po.
what tourist attractions did your family enjoy?
The Brooklyn Bridge,
Oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
yeah, the Battery Park, yeah, the Times Square, the famous Times Square,
Times Square,
and then
yeah.
the Jollibee
Jol-
there,
Yeah, I saw your picture
Jollibee
with
in
the
Times Square.
Jollibee
Yes po.
guy. Yeah.
And then I was surprised that they allow pets inside the Jollibee. That's
Yeah.
why our dog is eating also inside
Yeah. Well, they
Jollibee.
have, anymore in America, they have a lot of those security animals. They that is part of their emotional support or whatever. And that's why they don't restrict those, because that could be somebody's emotional support animal. And so they could, but a lot of time they would be so strict and say, well, we need a paperwork to show that it is actually your,
Yes po.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
Mm-hmm.
that? You didn't get that,
Only
did
the
you?
vaccination po. And then they did not ask po. They
Yeah.
did not ask about about the papers po ng two pets namin.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really big, New York, huh? It's really a
Yes
big
po,
city.
and yeah, but we did not explore it because we only have a day tour,
Oh,
and
okay.
then yeah, what we experienced there is to pass through the Holland Tunnel, the tunnel that will pass the river there.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen that in movies. You've seen that in many
Yes
movies.
po. Yes
Uh-huh.
po. And then I told them, hey, we're already passing the river. No, it's only we're just only passing the underground. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the subway, yeah, the subway. It's like a subway, but it's under the river,
Mm-hmm.
between I think New Jersey and Manhattan,
Uh-huh.
and also yes po, and then
They
also
connect all
the
over the
Baltimore
different
in
states,
Baltimore.
Mike. They connect everywhere. Yeah, they
Yes
connect to
po.
a lot of
Hmm.
states. Yeah. That's so cool
And
that
then the
your
only
kids
problem,
get to experience
yes
that,
po,
huh?
the only problem in New York is the parking. Parking is very expensive.
Yeah, they will pay. How much were they charging for parking?
For 1 hour is $30, $30 here
Oh.
po.
So
And then for a
what people would do, Mike, is they would leave the car in the hotel, and then they will just take
yes po.
taxi. Yeah, they will take taxi to wherever you're going. And to me,
Mhm.
that would be the easier way because I don't want to drive in the middle of New York anyway. So I would be
Yes po.
parking my car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
would be parking
enjoy.
in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy driving. I enjoy driving uh in New York. I can imagine po. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that I can drive there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually um I already visited 25 states already.
Nice, Mike. I have maybe not at 38, I think is mine. So I still have 12
Mhm.
that I've not gone. At least
Mhm.
I need Alaska. I have done Hawaii, but at the northeastern states, I miss a lot of those. Like I've been to New York, but I did not even go to Central, Square. I went to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is, where I
Brooklyn,
went.
yeah.
And then my one of my members for the, accreditation team, she lives in Jersey. And she invited me, like, Dr. McCullough, do you want to come with me? Because that way you cross the river and then you'll be in Jersey. I was so tired that day, she asked me. And I said, oh, we had a long day. It was 8 o'clock already at night. I said, I would rather just take my, get my tea and rest, because I had to call my husband still. And I wish that I did not say no, because then I would have checked off New Jersey. So I've been to DC, of course. I've been to DC many times. And my sister's daughter, Din Din, my niece, lives in Virginia. And so when we go to
Mhm.
Virginia, we could actually stay with her. And then from her place, we could just take the train and go everywhere. So
Yes po.
that's what
Mhm.
Stephanie did. I think Stephanie is still maybe there. She may be going back to Hawaii this weekend, but I know all week long she was in DC to present at a conference. She called me, and so I said, well, are you going to see your cousin? Said, yeah, that's the plan, Mom. And I said, okay, good, because I hate for you not to see her when it's only a few minutes from where she is. The Virginia and Maryland are pretty close to DC,
Yes
as you
po.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway,
Mhm.
what did your kids say about it? Which one did they like?
So far po, actually, we did not visit the Statue of Liberty
I can't believe you did
because
not do that. Yeah, it's in the island.
yeah, it's in the island, and we didn't know where is the free ferry
Mm.
going there. Yes po.
Yeah, you could
Mm.
Google those, Mike.
Yeah, I tried po. I tried that time, and then yun nga po because of the hassle in parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parking we will be we will be charged lahat po do sa parking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, yeah, that's my realization. As long as you have a car here in the USA, you can easily visit some
Yeah,
the different states.
there's no border. There's
Yeah.
no border. You just go to
Yeah.
everything open. Yeah, 50 states. So Mike, I can't believe you have that many states already done. You're nearly caught up with me. And I've been in America for 37 years. And you have caught up with me on your first, what, 3 years? This is your third,
Yes.
second year. This is the second
Second
year.
year po.
Yeah,
Actually, I just turned 1 year
1 year. Yeah.
last March. Yeah.
So
And
he's a
then
tough one.
my family just celebrated their first year here last June 6.
Mm. Well, you have not
And
been to
they're
Midwest. So there are 5 areas in the United States, right? So
Yes po.
Midwest is at the South, Midwest, there's a Northeast, and there's the
Mhm.
West. West would be California, all those in the
Yeah,
western
we're done
part.
already po. We're done with
Yeah,
that.
you have done West.
Those states below the map from Cali, Nevada, New
Colorado.
Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, what else? Florida. Yeah, I already done with that.
The
So our
southern
next
states.
target will be the yes
The
po.
Midwest. Yeah, the
The
Midwest
upper
will be
part.
in the middle of the United States. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from Arkansas, from
Mid,
Louisiana up, you have done Louisiana,
yes.
Arkansas. So Missouri and up. Missouri,
Yes,
Iowa, North
Missouri.
Dakota, South Dakota. So those
Yes.
are, the Dakotas. You have not been to the Dakotas.
Yes po. That's our target po. Target yung
Target
we visit the Mount the famous four
Rushmore, Mount
presidents.
Rushmore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah
I
po.
started to tell the story. Do not go there on July 4th weekend. You know why? Because that is the biggest crowd. We went down there on July 3rd or something, or July 3rd or 5th. Anyway, what either before or after that 4th. When we got there, we can't even get to 2 miles, maybe 3 miles away. We have to right there stop the car because you can no longer go because there's so many cars. So I said we drove 24 hours to get there. I was not gonna just be there that far. So I saw, look around and I saw this helicopter, right? So I said,
Mhm.
hey,
Mhm.
we drove 24 hours. I'm willing to pay for a helicopter ride so I could see that Mount Rushmore, the face of the presidents up close. And Dwayne was like, I don't know about that. I'm like, I'm doing it. I have this credit. I'm doing it. And so I said, okay, okay. So we took Jet at that time. We had Jet because Stephanie was already gone in college. And Jet had a friend. We always bring a friend with us because that way the kid will not be, will not be bored. We had an RV. So that was pretty good because we had 24 hours, but we keep stopping every 8 hours, And so we were able to sleep. It's like driving a whole house. But so we did this helicopter ride, and I asked how much it was, and it says $130 per person. And my husband looked at me like, "Are you willing to do that?" And I'm like, "Well, we have this kid that came with us, and of course he didn't have the money, right?" So I said, "Okay, sir, there's the four of us, but if you're gonna throw in this kid for free, because this is not our kid, this is my son's friend. If you throw him in for free, we will pay for the three, and we will hire you." I said, "Okay." So the fourth person was free, so I was able to get it for $390 for the four of us. So I was proud of myself that I was able to do that. My husband said, "Yeah, you do your magic." I'm able to do bargain like that. And so because if he said no, I don't know, maybe I still would have done it, but I just pretended like if you say no, I'm not doing it. Yeah, but Mike, that's the best way to look at Mount Rushmore. So
Yes
I would
po.
really recommend that if you go to Mount Rushmore, save some money and do a helicopter tour
Right, yeah.
because we were right there, and it's big old window there where we can see everything. We were right there by the face of this the mountain, the rock with the president's face, and then they told us the something, some Indian or some Native American statue that's really big there. I forgot the name of it, but anyway, so they also threw that with the ride. So they went ahead and did that because they were still working it. They still continue to work on it. It's not quite done, but we got to see two things. So to me, it was worth it. We had the best view because we look and we could see our vehicle so far away from it. And then you cannot even go to the building yet because there were so many people. So yeah, I would say do not go there on July 4th. Yeah. So when is your next? What country? What state is your next trip, Mike?
Chicago po. Yeah,
North.
that's Chicago, North Dakota. Actually, Doc, we're
Great
just
Lakes.
visiting some of the states unplanned.
Okay.
Unplanned.
You just wing it. Well, the nice thing about it is because you're driving, right? That's good. You just
Yes
have
po,
to come
yes
up
po.
with gas money, and your car is pretty good with gas. Like my car would do 50 miles, for every
Mhm.
gallon. So your car would be maybe half that good because you're not a
Yes po,
hybrid.
yes
Yeah,
po.
I have a
Mhm.
hybrid. But anyway, so Great Lakes, Mike. You know how to name, you know how to know the Great Lakes? It spells homes.
Mhm.
Homes. It's Huron, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, and E is Erie, Lake Erie, and then S is Lake Superior. So those
Mhm.
five lakes, five Great Lakes,
Lakes,
to
yeah.
visit the five Great Lakes, yeah. And that's in they call that the Midwest, the Midwestern part of the United
Midwest, yes.
States. You know, that's why you have the Iowa, and then it goes to Michigan, Ohio, and all that. Yeah, we
Mhm.
have been in that area, but I don't have all of them. I took teachers to Chicago for a whole week once. So we got to really see Chicago, which is part of Illinois. But, and then my
Mhm.
daughter was in Wisconsin. She graduated with her doctorate in, philosophy in University of Wisconsin. So we got to see Wisconsin a lot too. But I didn't get to see the other ones because I told my husband, if you go to New York, Mike, you should have gone to Canada, because and I don't know what you have on J1. If you could, research this, if you're allowed to come back in, because that's another country. But as US citizens, we just have to bring our passport, and then we go to
Mhm.
Canada, and we want to see the Niagara Falls. That's the one on my
Yes
list.
po. Mhm. Last
Niagara
time po,
Falls.
Ma'am Jing and her family visited there. And then according to them, they cannot cross the borders
The
there
border,
po.
yeah. So you cannot
Yeah.
see, we could. So Dwayne and I could, and the kids could go to that side in Canada and come back, just like Mexico also. We can also take our passport and we go across the border from Mexico and go eat some authentic Mexican food there. But I would not recommend it now, like in the Texas border part, because the gangs and the criminals and the um are now there. So there's a lot of crimes in the border. So I would
Yes po.
recommend
Mhm.
going
Mhm.
on a cruise and going to the best part of Mexico through a cruise. So that's because they only take you to the safe ones. And so yeah, and you see the best views. And so yeah, that's what I would say. So that's one thing that I want to plan for the teachers is we all go on a cruise. So start saving money.
Yes, why?
Maybe next
Mm.
summer
And
would
po,
be good, or spring
mhm.
break.
Yes po do. And also, you mentioned already the 4th of July. I think it's better for us to share to them what is the 4th of July here in the USA. It's like a new year
It's like,
wherein there's a lot of
no, actually, it's the
fireworks.
same as
Yeah.
June 12, Mike. Oh, it's
June 12,
celebrated
yeah,
like a
yeah,
New
June
Year.
12.
Yeah,
June
it's the
12, yeah.
freedom. Yeah, it's how they were free from the English rule, right? And so in ours, what was November 12 for us? Is it freedom from America or freedom from Spain? What?
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah
Okay,
po.
so yeah. So here is the
June 12,
freedom
yeah.
where we became a country, the United States. Okay? And we were not under English rule anymore, because we won on the Revolutionary War. So that's why, July 4th. But yes, it is celebrated like a New Year's, because you have the fireworks going on and
Mhm.
you have these big old parties. I have a friend that always does her July 4th party. So we're always invited every year. So we always go watch the fireworks in her yard, because she always has a big potluck and everybody comes in and bringing food, and she does hamburgers and things. And so we always go to Christy's house every 4th of July. Although my
Mhm.
house right here where we moved by the airport, we have the best view, because that mountain there, that's where they do the fireworks. I mean, we can just sit and bring chairs in our yard and have the best view of the of the fireworks display. They have the fireworks display. Most cities here in America would actually sponsor a fireworks display, which makes it a bigger fireworks display, but it's a very expensive one. It's like usually they spend between $5,000 to $10,000, just to do the fireworks. So now, if you watch that America's Got Talent, where there was this drone, this 1,000 drones, and they did look like fireworks, and they did this designs. That's actually some of the big cities are going to that, because they can reuse those. I mean, they can just hire those folks, and they don't have to like just blow, $10,000 or more on fireworks, because that's something that you can, they would reuse if they do, so much. But anyway, you have to be big enough. So where are you going to for 4th of July this year to watch for fireworks?
We're still searching po, but according to them, in Memphis, there is a fireworks display in Memphis, but it's still almost 2 hours away.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's none in Helena?
Yes po.
You don't have one?
We didn't see any posting yet po sa Helena group or
Mm.
Helena, yeah.
Yeah,
Helena.
because I was thinking they should do it by the Mississippi River because they usually do it by the water. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I was thinking if they do it, they would be doing it close to the Mississippi River by the bridge. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember last year, when we are still there in our apartment, um, it's raining.
Yeah.
It's
So it did not
raining.
happen. It did not happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah po.
I hope it doesn't
And
rain
then,
this year.
and then yeah, I think the fireworks happened on the next night.
The next night. Okay, yeah. It's always when it's dark. So, and in America, you can't believe at 9:30 at night by the summertime, it's still bright. So they
Yes po, yes
right?
po.
9 o'clock
That's
at
why
night, it's still bright.
9 o'clock still, you can still see the sun.
See the sun at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I know that's really amazing to
Mm.
me when the first year I was here. I'm like, what? It's 9 o'clock at night and we can still, see everything. And so yeah, husband said, yeah, then it's gonna go, winter time, then it's gonna be the opposite.
Yes
Yeah.
po,
So you
yes
have to
po.
go to bed early.
Five
Yeah.
o'clock 5 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. Yeah, seems like it's
Start
already
getting dark.
midnight.
Yeah, on winter time. Yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway, well, thank you again, Mike, for sharing that. I was
Yes po.
looking for you. I'm like,
Mhm.
what happened? There were only like at first we were only like 6 people, and I'm like, some people were boycotting us or whatever. And I was trying to see if I sent the wrong one. I ordered a new computer, so I'm actually using a new computer, and I was checking if like did I get the Zoom in on the right account or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah. So
Yeah, maybe because po, yeah, it's a summer vacation.
yeah,
And
and I think that's what it
yeah,
is. And yeah.
yes po.
All right.
And
Thank you,
also,
Mike.
I've noticed, yes po, and also I also noticed that sometimes if we have a guest speaker, I
Yeah, they have
invite.
more. I need to do
Yes.
that. Help me come up with some people that we could invite, Mike. I
Yes
try
po.
to do different ones. Like we have done African American administrators, we have done Lisa, a white girl. And so I need
Mhm.
to look, we've done
Last time, I mentioned to you po si Miss McDaniel.
yeah, 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 yeah. Can you get that to happen with her? I can
Yes
ask
po,
her.
yes po.
Okay. I can text her and find out or talk to her and see if she would, and then that
And
way she can
yes
send you
po.
a picture.
Yes po.
Yeah.
And still we have Miss Hamilton, your
Yeah, Miss
friend of, yeah.
Hamilton. The thing is, they're not administrators anymore. Miss McDaniel is not, right?
Um,
They
Miss
both
McDaniel po still, yeah.
still, but it's a different
The
grade.
yeah po. She is the disciplinary, yeah, the dean of student discipline po.
Well, I even thought about Miss Mills because Miss Mills is HR, and so she could actually tell us what they're looking for when they're hiring folks, you know?
Mhm.
So I even thought of her too. Yeah. So keep looking, Mike, and then see if you could get them to confirm, just let me know. And you got,
Yes po,
yeah,
no problem po.
yeah. So anyhow. All right. So just text me and say, would this date be okay? Because I don't want to ask to overbook, double book somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? That's Rick Kane is here. Ryan is here. Ryan, you have any question for me? Ryan, thanks again for coming. It's girly. Maverick. Any of you guys have question? And I'll talk to you later, John, Maria Lovely, Marlon, I'll talk to you later. And Benedict, you too. So Rosemary Toribio, Rodora Arojo. Are you new? And Jamila Capulso. If you all want to talk to us, just speak. Pinky Faith, I'll talk to you at the end of this. Rowena, Catherine, Arnell. I talk to Flora. Let's see. So nobody will talk anymore, Erwin. I'll see you in a minute. Um,
Hello, Doc
Evangeline. Okay. Who said
Marlena.
yeah? Okay, Jamila?
Uh, yes, hello, Miss Marlena. It's me again.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I was referred by Miss Christine Quezon. She's my college friend,
Okay.
college classmate. Yes.
That's
She's
nice.
actually here in Bayuan now. Yeah,
She's
but
in
we
she's
haven't
in the
met.
Philippines now?
Yes, yes.
I did not know that. Okay.
Nagbakasyon, Miss.
Vacation.
And my question lang is, Doc, is I kept on sending application and they often tell me to send a like something to ensure that I can really work, like work authorization in the United States.
I
So
think if you
where
got the
can I get that,
license,
Doc?
yeah, I think you need to get a license from either Maryland or New Mexico or Illinois, and that would do it. Okay. And you put that in your resume, I mean, in your cover letter, that you have a license from this state. And then that would address that.
Uh,
Okay. So apply, you just
uh,
Google, yeah, you Google Department of Education, you put Illinois or you can put it first, Illinois Department of Education. And then when you get there, you search under licensure, and then licensure would tell you how
yeah.
to get it. Okay. It's all online.
Yes, I already sent my documents, Doc, because I also have like an agency. They process all my documents. I'm sending it to New Mexico. I sent it to New Mexico na last Wednesday. So I'm anticipating for a teaching license. So I think yes, I think that will be the answer for all
Yeah.
the queries, because most of the email that I really receive really needs to have like a document showing that I can really work in the United States.
Your license would do it. Yeah. Your license would do it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Doc, may I also know what's the best month to really apply
Um,
for a teaching?
well, the new application will open up October 1. But right now they're
Uh-huh.
finishing up the rest leftover, but most of the folks have closed their windows because it takes about 2 months to process. So if they're doing 2 months, that's going to go over the beginning of the year. There's still some visas available, but the most of them will be gone by May. So really, I would apply from February, March, April. Those are the ones that
Yeah.
I would do because that's when you're ready and will give you enough time to get here. Because you can arrive
Mm,
only up to 1 month before the start. So if the start is August 19, you can arrive here as early as July 20.
right.
Yeah. So you can be a month ahead to come. But now it's gonna be a month later. So you'll be coming in September
Yes.
if you're gonna do that now. But there are schools still that are willing to do that because they're desperate. And that's why I said earlier that if you Google the capital of every state there, most of the time they are desperate. So they will be
Mm.
willing to have you come later. And I don't know, are you using an agency that is a sponsor, or you are using a third party agency?
I'm not really sure about it, Doc. Are you familiar with Big Apple
No,
Connect?
that is not one of them. So it's going to be a third party agency. I would recommend
Yeah.
the only third party agency that I would recommend using would be Minga House. So you go Glenn at Minga.org or mingahouse.org, and Minga House is a nonprofit. So they actually will not cost you money. If they do a
Mm-hmm.
finder's fee, they will charge the visa sponsor, but not you. So that's why I like Glenn's. But the other folks, the third party agencies, I would not recommend it just because it's gonna be double pay for you. If you're gonna be paying for the actual visa sponsor, and then you're also gonna be paying for your third party agency, that's double for you, double charge for you. So I would recommend that you go straight to a visa sponsor. Look for the visa sponsor. If you Google it, it's on the chat, but if you Google it, do J1 visa sponsors US, and then put the word bridge with it. Because if you don't put the word bridge with it, there's going to be a lot of extra things that you don't need. So the one that says that would have bridge on it, bridge program, that's the one that you need to look at. And there's a lot of program from nanny, au pair to you research to, so you have to look for teacher for the program, for teacher. And then if you click it, then it's only going to show you all the ones that would sponsor teachers. So it doesn't matter on the state, wherever they are, they can, even if they're in New York, they can still sponsor you for an Arkansas license, so Arkansas J1. So do not worry about where they are. But I would recommend that you already try to get them to know you, to have a relationship with you. I think Green Heart is one that's being used a lot. And is that J1X? something. And then there's Cultural Vista, CV, and there's GEC or Global Educational Concepts. Those are the ones that are very popularly used by our teachers. And they have lots of experience on processing it. I think, what was it, Mike? The JCU, which is, that is Dr. Topaz. He is a
Yes po,
third-party
the
agency.
JCU. Yeah.
Yeah, JCU. He's a third-party agency, is Filipino, but he charged quite a bit. So if you,
Yes po.
yeah, either he'll charge you or he charge the school, but he's going to be a high dollar one. But he does a good job. But so you just know that, you're getting what you're paying for. So, but Glenn is my new favorite person to deal with because he's very responsive. He would always respond to you pretty quickly, and he's gonna be what he does first is actually look at what school it is and if they could sponsor it or not. So you tell them the school and you send him the school and the administrator contact and the address of the school, the state, and he will be able to tell you if he could find sponsor to help you. Like, one of the schools that I'm working with right now, he said, no, we can't on that one, Merlina. And so, but there are some there that would, you just have to find them. But okay. So anything
I think
else?
that's it. Thank
Huh?
you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
for,
Doc.
yeah.
I'm
Jamila,
just
thank
listening
you.
because
Yeah.
yes, I'm just listening here because I can really learn something in every Zoom meeting that you have.
Well, good, because it comes
Yes.
on whatever that comes up, from the from the participants. But anyway,
Yes. Again, Doc, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
sorry, I have a coughing fit. So okay, so is there anybody else? I think I talked to everyone that would, unless Arnell, did you want to talk? Catherine Panoy, you don't? Okay. Well, if nobody will, I'm gonna say bye so I can talk to the
Good
West
evening,
Memphis
Dr.
group.
Merlina.
Who is this? Arnell. Okay, go ahead, Arnell.
Yes. Um, I already had the interview with you the first time I attended this webinar. Since I'm not qualified for a J1 visa, I am always attending your like this activity like this because I always learned a lot from you.
Oh, good. Well, good. I learned a lot
Yes.
from you too, guys. So yeah, so it's a two-way thing. I learned so much about how the Philippines, you know, um, education work because I was only there as a student. I got all my education here in America. So I learned about how teaching is there in the Philippines compared to here. So you're also teaching me because there's a lot of things I don't know, especially your paperwork part. I do not know about how much paperwork you do. It sounds like, guys, the good news is in America, it's about half of what you do in the Philippines, paperwork wise, is what I was told. I don't know if that is true, but that is what everybody has, or most people had said to me, that the paperwork here is way simpler than what we did in the Philippines. Well, for one thing, it's all computerized, all digital. So even your attendance, you just be, pushing X or whatever, you just have to mark it that they're here or not here. And that's it, done within a few seconds or a minute, maybe. But anyway, so it's very quick. And I don't know how they did in the Philippines. How do you do attendance in the Philippines? Do you do it by paper or by computer?
Attendance, ma'am,
How do you do your attendance there?
by paper.
By what?
By paper.
Paper. And then how do you turn it in? Do you turn
Every
it in
time I
every
have
day?
a class, yes.
You turn it in every day?
Yes, ma'am. Every meeting.
Every
Every meeting, I
Oh,
always
okay.
check attendance
Okay.
in
Well,
my class.
here they have to do it immediately because the secretary at the main office would want the number for who's going to eat and who's not. So there's a free lunch here. Well, some of the folks that make more money would have to pay. It's about $4 or $5 each lunch. But most of the folks, especially in the area where they're hiring teachers, it's all free lunch for kids. So kids are actually getting free lunch. And even this summer, a lot of the schools have programs to feed the kids. They have grants to feed the kids because in our areas with poverty, they might not have food, in the summer. So they're feeding them. So at least they get at least one day that they have good food. So most schools are offering that. So Mike, do you know if Helena is offering or Brinkley is offering a free summer food? Our students?
Yes po.
They are? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, I think. As a teacher, because I taught a very poor school, I actually spent my own money in order to buy little granola bars, things like that, healthy stuff, and to put it in the backpack of my students on Friday so that they have something on weekends. Now they already have programs like that. They actually have a backpack program, or that they go do through the counselor's office, and they will give the kids a backpack full of at least 10 or 12 items, from canned goods to some juice and all this, and they put it there, and they're very discreet about it. Like in one of the schools I work in, they actually would call the students and say, hey, you have to come to the office, and then they know to go to the counselor's office, and they pick up the backpack for them. And then that backpack is small enough that it could actually fit in their own backpack, where the other kids will not see that they actually were picking up food from the office. So they know to always bring their backpack, because they're gonna stuff the little layer backpack in their regular backpack to where the food is. And a lot of times, if there are 3 siblings in the family, all 3 will get one. So that would have food for the family. And another way that they could also be fed is that we have lots of food banks here, or churches, and they would have programs where you can just go and get free food. Sign up. A lot of times you have to prove your income, that you are actually in low income. And so in America, there's a lot of help. And of course, because we live in Arkansas, for example, if you're hardworking, you always can get food, because like on my pond, I have a 2-acre pond. 32 acres is how many hectares? That one? HD. Is 2 hectares one? Is 2 acres 1 pond or 1 hectare? Okay, so two acres, about 1 hectare pond. So we put lots of fish in there, so we could actually fish. But Mike, everybody remind me that we need to go fishing when you all come here. The kids would like it. But you can always fish and feed yourself with that. And what my husband and I typically do is we would go fishing, and the moment we come in, I would clean the fish, and my husband and I would help me, and then we go cook it. So it's very, very fresh. So that's what it is in here. If you just really work hard, you can get fed. You won't get hungry in the US. So anyway, all right. So that's all I have. And so other than the Mike and the Miss West Memphis bunch, you can go, and unless you have last minute question or comment, things that you learned. If you have not talked, I want you to talk. Like, you can share with me what your summer plans or what you learned from this meeting or other videos that we had. This is number 77, I think. All of our videos are posted in YouTube, and I want you to please subscribe there. All of them. So you can go look at all the videos that we've ever done. I really wish that I cut them in smaller pieces, but some of them are 4 or 5 hours. I don't expect you to watch all of them, but you can skim and scan and forward it. Because you learn a lot, especially on the interview. I think I hear a lot of great feedback about the Zoom meetings, learning that they got actually helped them get ace the interview, which is your key to getting a job. Right? So if you ace that interview, they'll hire you. They'll give you a job offer, and then you are able to come. So yeah, so it's a good thing. Okay, so Catherine, did you want to talk? Love your picture there in the background. Love that.
Yeah. Thank you, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning.
Doc, you mentioned last Zoom meeting that Arkansas is still hiring SPED teachers. Doc, I already sent my resume and cover letter.
Okay, yeah. Then you should be on my list already that I sent.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
I just want to ask if is there a chance that I will be hired as a SPED teacher at this this season?
Do you have it finished? Do you have your special ed finished, or you're still working on it?
I finished my MA doc as a SPED teacher. I mean,
Okay.
major in SPED.
Okay. Well, you should have a good chance, but I do not know that. I do not know who will, different schools are looking for different things. Some people are looking for, experience. So if you don't have the experience, the others with experience will have better chance than you. And also it depends on your resume, what they're looking in the resume. And
I do have my experience though
okay, and your
as a
cover
SPED
letter,
teacher.
check your cover
Yes.
letter, make sure it looks good. The cover letter, if you're not sure of it and you want me to double check it and see, go use a GPT. I would say this to everyone: use your GPT. What is that? Your GPT. AI and
Yes, doc.
GPT chat, right? GPT chat. I want you to copy and paste it on a GPT chat, and it will correct it for you. It will make it sound really good.
Yes,
So
doc.
that's what
Yes,
I
doc.
would. That's what I would do because it really Americanizes it. Okay. So if it sounds like, how we talk in the Philippines and all that, I always, I do that now when I'm like sending something long to administrators or to teachers. I would put that in the chat GPT and it will actually show me a better way to structure my sentences. I had to always correct it because there's sometimes they were, that's not what I meant, so I would correct it. So don't just trust it. You have to also read again if that's what you meant, because sometimes it's interpreting it the wrong way. And some of the sentences are like, I don't know what's changing it that way, And so, yeah, of course, you don't completely 100% trust it, but 80% I would, so the other 20 you have to check. But Chat GPT is good. I want you all to if you've not been getting interviewed, I want you to change your cover letter, but after you put it on Chat GPT and see what happens, because it
Yes,
sounds
doc.
very professional when you put it there. Okay? Yeah.
Doc, another question.
Uh-huh.
I already sent my application to different schools, but I found Georgia to have Georgia Professional Standard. They gave me this temporary SSN. That was my first problem before
Okay.
when I apply online using ApplyTrack
Yeah.
and
So
what
what what
else?
what did they give
So
you? What number do they give you? All zeros
I
or all
they
nine?
give a temporary SSN and certification ID, doc.
Oh, they
Can I
give you.
use these numbers to
Yeah.
different states?
Yeah, I would,
Okay.
because the Social Security applies to all 50 states. It's a federal.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, you can
So,
use that because later on when you have your actual Social Security, you have to make sure that you correct it in your office and said, this is my actual,
okay.
my actual Social Security number.
Okay, doc.
That was a temporary, the one I used before. And they will know that you have to use it.
Um, is there a timeline for this temporary SSN,
No,
doc?
it should not be because they just give you the number that fits the digits. Like some of them just
Oh,
put all zeros or all nines. Did they do that or they have different numbers?
um, most of the numbers are 9.
Okay, that's it. That's the temporary that's being given by IRS, International
Mm,
Revenue Service, that you use that as a temporary. Everybody uses as a temporary thing. Put all nines. Okay, 9 nines. So yeah.
yes, doc. Because it was Clayton County Schools in Georgia require me to, register at my PSC. That was my PSC,
That's their
Georgia
own
Professional
portal.
Standards. Yes,
Yeah.
doc.
Yeah, you can use the
It
same
has a
one
link.
everywhere. Yeah.
But
Use
that's
it.
the only school, doc, for online application that they require me to register first on my PSC to have that temporary SSN and certification ID.
Yeah, everybody does it differently, but that some schools are strict like that, because if they hire you and they put you in the system, they had to assign you a number because the system would not let them put anything there without a number. So they had to put a temporary one for everyone that's new. And then because you won't get your number until you physically get here. Okay?
Oh,
Good question.
okay.
Good question. All
Thank you,
nines.
doc.
Yeah, that should answer everybody's question about, I don't have a social security number. Well, use all nines, okay? There's 9 nines. So it's like 999 dash 99 dash 9999. So there's right? There's a group of
Yes,
3, a
Doc.
group of 2, and a group of 4, 3 to 4. Yeah, that's what it is on the temporary IRS number that they give you. And most of your financial people, they would know that. They would, because they were told that that's what you could use. So yeah. But some schools do not accept that. So, you never know how strict they are. But a lot of time it's accepted, okay? Some people have actually used their TIN number because there's 9 digits there. Just as long as you give them the correct one when you get here. Just to be able to be in the system really is what you're doing, okay? All right. So
Thank you, Doc.
yeah, you're welcome. So Mike, I talked to Mike already. It's Giselle. Okay, Nancy. Ryan, you want to comment, Ryan or Ricane? I hate for you to be here and then not be able to record that you're talking or you're here. You can share your summer plans or you can share what you learned. Because we need to be done the next 2 minutes. Catherine, okay.
Yes, Doc. Good evening.
Go ahead. Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Doc. Yes. As of this time, I am still sending applications.
Okay.
Probably if I can't make it this school year, probably I can have it. We still have a lot of school year coming, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
I would
just wait
continue
for
to
the
do
right
it all
time
year
for me.
long, Ryan, because you know what they do
Yes,
is they put it on a pool. They call it a pool of candidates, which means that
yes, Doc.
anytime they have an opening, they look at those pool of candidates. So they put you in a file. So if I were you, I would go ahead and apply now, and you will be in somebody's file so they can pick from it and see if you're going to be a good fit. So you already have done
Yes,
the hard
Doc.
part. Yeah. So go ahead and apply.
Yes, Doc. So
Mhm.
yes,
Go
Doc,
ahead and
and
apply on those.
just like everybody else, I'll I will not miss this Zoom meeting because I learned a lot from interview questions.
Yeah.
So I'll
Good.
familiarize it so that yeah, if
And
ever I will be having another principal's interview, then I can somehow ace it.
yeah, you did a good job on your interviews. The 2 that I seen you answer, you did an awesome job. So I could see you getting
Thank you,
hired
Doc.
sooner than you think. Yeah.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Doc.
just be patient and pray a lot. I really think
Yes,
that
Doc.
he has plans for us. And if your plan, hopefully you'll end up in Arkansas, but if not, hopefully it's close enough where you can still come
Yes,
see us.
Doc.
But of course, in the United States, you can just fly anywhere. Money is what you,
Yes, Doc.
yeah. So you can come
Thank
see
you
us
so much, Doc
anytime. Yeah.
Merlina.
And Memphis, where everybody's close to Memphis, that's where people are getting hired, about an hour away from Memphis or so. And that's a very big international, airport. So if you look for a fare, look for Memphis, your arrival in Memphis, and a bunch of them, like Mike and them, they're very close to it. So if you ever want to just see everybody and I could be there, I would be glad to introduce everyone to the new folks. It's so neat that you got to see them in Zoom and then now you see them in person. So that'll be cool. Ricane?
Yes, Doc. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. Ricane, you gonna say something? Otherwise, I'm gonna say bye-bye. All right. So I guess we'll have to say goodbye. And because I need to
Bye, Dr.
talk
Melvina.
to
Thank
yeah, bye-bye.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Doc.
much. I need to
Thank you
talk
so
to
much,
West
Thank
Doc.
Memphis
you.
Munch plus Mike.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay, bye guys. So yeah, everybody leave.
Thank
There's
you
about
so
30 of
much.
you. Yeah.
Bye.
What
Bye-bye.
have you learned?
Thank you so much. Email me if you want, McCulloughMarlena@gmail. And
Doc,
Yes,
thank
Doc.
you.
thank
Thank
you.
you
Bye,
so
Thank you for
much.
the
Diana.
references.
Bye. Yeah. Bye. And yeah, I
Bye.
will close this video pretty soon. So after it's processed. All right. So if you don't mind, there's still about 7 extra people. You don't mind to leave for me. I need Erwin is here. You can stay, Erwin. Evangeline needs to go. Rowena needs to go. And Rodora needs to go. I think, let me see. Okay, there's still 4 people extra. Okay, Rodora.
I'm
Okay.
removing
Is
them,
that all
Doc.
of it now?
Diana also.
Diana, yeah, Diana, if you want to go, please. I need to talk to the specific folks on specific schools. Okay, I think that's all us, right? Okay, guys, turn your camera on. Some of you don't have your camera on, but anyway, hey, any question for me? I know it's so frustrating because it's been a busy week for Paulette because they have been doing some interviews and they've been doing some activity. I don't remember what activity it was, but she said that it's hard for her to even talk to me for more than that minute that I talked to her, because I said, Paulette, these folks have already spent money. You know, that's why I forwarded, who was it, Maria Lovely, email saying that, Paulette, they already spent money on this. You cannot be like, you know, a West Memphis and resend offers. She said, we're not resending offers, but they're just really concerned that you won't make it on time. And I said, well, then you need to have a sub. But anyway, that's why I warned you about it, because I don't want her to say that later and you didn't have a heads up from me, you know, because what I'm finding is from Glenn, that perimeter, because it's not a school, might not get a visa. And that's what I'm concerned about. I want your option to be open,
Doc,
that if you have other option, multiple options, I want you to take that option, especially if they are a school, because Hope, for example, is still looking for folks. So, and Lee County and Hope are still looking for folks. And I think Joplin and West Memphis, guys, Pine Bluff, if you have not applied in Pine Bluff, they're always, just like Little Rock, they're always looking for more teachers. And I think I know the superintendent there. So but they would know me at least. So Pine Bluff, it's 2 words, Pine, and then Bluff, Bluff, Arkansas. That is a pretty, it's kind of school like the Helena's reputation, lots of poverties. But you will
Doc,
be okay because they have really supportive administrators there. And so, and it's close to the other folks. So you're not very far from the others. So yeah. Okay.
Doc,
Question.
Doc, we're still recording.
Oh, sorry.
We are still
Thank you.
recording.
Let me stop it. Thank you for reminding. I don't know. Let me see. I stop it.